man. Can't believe I'm regretting not watching more isekai anime. How the heck do I get back to the real world? Oh.
Now, I'm going to show you the greatest discovery in history.
Wow.
Good afternoon, judges. We've all read the history and legends of creatures that used to walk this land side by side with us. Now, I've spent many long years reading and researching this very question. Did they really exist? According to my research, they look like this.
Apologies.
Can't believe I'm regretting not watching more isekai anime. How the heck do I get back to the real world? Oh.
I think I'm cutting in and out.
Are you cutting in
Can
and
you hear
out
me?
again? I can hear you fine.
Yeah,
Well-
it started muting itself.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
odd.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So thank you guys for joining us. I can see you out there. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We've got some clips planned, some interesting things to discuss, and as I carry on and do some work, we'll be looking at that Tim and I will be discussing indie comics, and I'm sure he's got some insights, about that as we go into working and discussing the new year coming. So, Tim, put some links out there in the chat for everybody, and I'll put in the link for what we're working on today, which is
All right. Yeah. I was working on my link tree here, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put out the individual ones because I'm still I just got around to it.
right. So what I'm doing today is, as usual, is it's our Monday here in New Zealand. I will be doing the Webtoons upload for our manga, The Tortoise, which everybody seems to be enjoying at the moment. I've noticed that
Really?
yeah, we're up to 1,500. We've passed 1,500 since we started this, which is we're up to about page 22 or something, and that's like 22 weeks. I guess it's like, I don't know, about 3-4 months. But with everything that's going on, where anybody could be reading anything else, there's like a million available, projects out there that people could be reading. I'm just really glad that people are actually, checking us out, being being noobs out here, I guess, in the world of indie comics, because I think there's so much going on in everybody's life. People need an outlet for
Oh, of course.
for something to like just keep them occupied for that day, or that hour or whatever, half an hour, whatever time they have, so that that they can feel a bit outside of themselves rather than having to deal with their life that's going on and on continuously. So today the page I'm doing is page 26, it seems. I think there's supposed to be a, let me open this entire thing because I don't know what, I think the page numbers are wrong, because when you have a file like this, you delete some and you put a new page in, and then you make up, then you add some pages and you like replace some pages. And so what happens is the numbering in Clip Studio ends up being a new number, not the orderly number. So yeah, this is what I thought. So I'm like, I'm not supposed to be doing this page, but now I'm on this page when it comes to numbering. But then I might be on another page. So this is the entire comic book itself, right? So this is the entire manga and comic book form. 40 pages, 1, 2, 3 double pages. And the last one we did was this one here, 28. So yeah, -3, which is like these 3 at the front, right? The cover, the insert page, the info page, and then you've got the starting page. So that would mean that I'm page 25 today. So this is the page we're working on today.
Oh, I see. I did.
Actually, no,
see,
it's this one. Sorry,
I did a show at Ruby Odds. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have some like photos you want to share with that? Did you make some videos or anything like that?
I just took a few photos.
Yeah, man.
They're all on my. I think they're on my my Instagram.
All right. Well, I don't use Instagram that much. So, do you want to?
Yeah. Totally.
Show that.
Yeah.
Link it so I can like grab it.
Yeah.
So this page is a foreshadowing from issue 2. And it was the last page we did after everything else was done, because it's like, yeah, we need something to show people what to expect in the future, right? Coming into this page, because coming into this comic, because we talk about being a horror comic and there's nothing horror shown yet, right? And so this one here, it kind of gives you an idea of what is horror about this whole comic book, right?
All right. So this is the oh, go ahead. I got the pictures.
So this is what all up we've been showing people the relationship between the 2 girls, 2 young ladies in their 20s, their trip overseas, their who they are, how they met, their backgrounds a bit, their interests. We find out that Kirsten, this one, where are we? where's Kirsten? Oh yeah, this one here. Kirsten, she's farm girl, and Amber here, she's got her parents are like smart, right? Then I guess intellectuals, but not intellectuals, but like scientists and stuff, biology. And then we talk about how Amber grew up wanting a turtle when she was a little kid visiting Fiji, where her mom's from. And so we learn about early on about conservation, about the life of turtles and all that stuff. Just kind of like a build up on, give you a background, not just a little, just kind of like action packed comic book or manga about, so this is more of like a slice of life. Like that's why I always call this one being a slice of life and a supernatural horror comic book for mature readers, because there are things in here content wise that we deal with that are not for kids or even young, I guess under 15s. But now with YouTube and with internet, people as young as under even under 12 are finding it about life that they shouldn't be.
Well, that's their parents'
Sadly,
fault, isn't it?
yeah, sadly, because their parents are not watching them or they don't understand what the world online is like for them, right? So, as someone who's mindful of that, I always like to rate what I put out, like for what age group, because I think I, as a creator, have a duty to that. So that because I used to own a comic shop, and I've been around comic shops all my life, and I've watched some people, turn up and not understand what comics they're buying, especially if they're buying for young kids, and they go, well, this has got Spider-Man in it, or this has got Deadpool in it, and you realize, yeah, but that Deadpool there is a mature reader's comic book, not the Deadpool you see in everyday Marvel, comics. It's like Deadpool is an R-rated movie, right? But you got people, because of what Deadpool has become so popular, young kids are reading that as well, and so Marvel has had to like dumb down content wise, for that age group. Now let me show some photos here. So this is from
No,
Stage. Wait, not
you showing
there.
my
We
photos?
go. Yeah. So do you want to like zip through that and talk about that while I set up my page?
Yeah, this is me arriving at Ruby. I only took 2 photos because I was
Right.
that's
For
right.
people who don't know where that is,
That's
because
in
we're not all from America.
Idaho.
Idaho, Kansas.
I know Idaho. No, Idaho is a state.
All right.
That the town is Caldwell, Idaho, which I am not too far away from. So
All right.
there it is. And then this is my setup. I finally got to use that banner I paid for.
Right.
The lady was cool too because she gave me pointers on how to better my setup there.
Right.
The Authorpalooza was a little different. I didn't get that much space, but
Yeah.
I still sold like a lot of copies in this show too. But
Okay.
But yeah, she was pretty cool because it was a little different because they didn't pay me directly; they paid the store, which that was a new experience for me. It's like, okay, they pay them first, and then I
Okay.
get
Hold on.
What?
Someone in the chat is trying to be a smartass.
Oh, I can't see. I'd have to
Listen,
stop
Duck.
sharing.
Listen, Duck. If you don't want to come
Oh,
on the stream, you and face up to your to the
crimes.
issues you've raised online between me and you. Actually, it's between you and I should say, because you raised it. Don't you go spamming my chat like this. All right. Get on here.
The nerve of
Get
you.
the hell up here and face the music, dude, because seriously, I don't know why you'd be, out here spamming my chat and not coming on my stream and facing the music, as they say in New Zealand. I'm not sure what you guys say elsewhere, but get up here right now.
Bring it on, Duck Man. Bring it on.
I cannot understand going these people out here, the POCs, dead naming people, right?
I don't know.
Seriously.
I find that I find that offensive for the living impaired. What about
Yeah,
their
I mean, like
feelings?
I'm out here doing my monkey shit, and like, and he's out there here doing his duck shit, and now he's trying to attack me because I have arms and legs I can climb trees with, and
What?
he's got a waddle in the friggin' water. He's stuck
What?
to the land, and now he's saying I'm being violent towards him.
Oh,
Seriously?
that's what these duck people they start stuff and then they have to act like victims.
Yeah, I got a stick, but he's got a gun. Like, seriously, I mean, like, guns and sticks, like, there's no way I with a stick am that violent, right?
I know.
A duck with a gun is more violent.
Quack quack, mother trucker.
Yeah. Anyway, you're welcome to come on, LS Matt.
Yeah. So anyway,
Carry on with yours, man. Like, check it out.
So I was new to the whole their setup. Their setup is the customer pays them, and then I get my cut, and they get their cut.
All right.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that was new.
That way, the reason shops do that is because sometimes, and here's the thing, right? It's not always that, but sometimes, people that come into stores, they might lie afterwards
right
about how much they earn, right? To undercut the store. And because the other thing about this, the store's got overheads that
right
if you're just going in, you don't have an idea what about. Like, I know that when I was putting on stuff, man, there was a lot of cost involved. And normally I did it because I just wanted people to show up, right? Because I knew that it would bring in 50 extra people by putting it on. So I'd put it on for free. Events like that.
It was
Actually,
it was a new experience. So
yeah.
But she gave me also pointers on how to, like I said, better setup. Like, hey, this merch here, these merch packs I had, it looked better in a black bowl instead of a red one. And pile up maybe 6 in front of it, so it looks more, And then, like, if since comic books slide, you tilt them at an angle so it looks better.
Right.
Yeah, it was stuff like that.
Well, I mean, because the other thing is they know their own audience, right? Like,
Right.
I mean, not audience, but they know their own customers quite well. And this is something that, like, if you haven't been in stores enough times as as someone who's like, put on events or has attended, put on your own events in stores, that the people, the store will know their clientele, much better than anyone stranger coming out of town going there. And they would know who likes what, who they can tell, say, hey, they all know what a person is into, and they'll advise them if they see that you are someone that they would love. They'll send them to you direct. Go check that dude out while he's here because you're gonna love what he's got going on.
Oh heck,
right?
They were the store owner. She was like my first customer because her husband loves comic books.
Right.
So that was cool. And then I sold, like, I made a good chunk of money. There was like, and they were bundles instead of just single floppies.
Yeah.
So and of course the deal also was I had to sign each one.
Right.
So that was kind of cool. And then this morning I worked on emailing off my first kind of newsletter to people because they'd write their email addresses down on the pad I have.
Yeah.
And so I got an email list started. I thought, it'd be great is if I could, like, for my DM group, just have an exclusive list.
Yeah.
For people, and like they would get like first crack at issue 4 when it came out.
Right.
And then, like, the normal list from people, like emails I got in stores, they would get the same as after it's officially released, like after the exclusive people.
Yeah.
Something like that. I'm kind of working out on something. I definitely want to try to kind of generate interest by having kind of these email lists.
Well, it's the same way as like who was it? Who's done that manga, and he's got a link tree and everything, and he's put the entire book for free. I've my my brain's just frozen at the moment on who that is, but let me see if I can find it because I did an interview with them as well, and it's not Mugen, is it? It's gosh, Ryu. Was it Ryu who's done an entire manga and he's put it online for free for people to read, and then he's going to like release it later?
Probably.
Who was it? Where is my freaking
I was
bookmarks?
thinking for the exclusive, people on the exclusive list that they would get like
Woodrow. Sorry, it's Woodrow, right?
Yeah, Woodrow.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this
the
is
meme
Woodrow's.
lord.
Give me one sec. Let me remove that. Present, share screen. Present screen. Here we go. So this is Woodrow's comic book that you guys can read. Tuckeroo's Origin for free, and I'll link that, and then we'll go back to the. I'm not sure why it's not showing up, but check it out. This is Read Tuckeroo for free. Where is it? Oh, hold on. I need to press the button. Press the button. Reminds me of the song. Flip the switch. Oh no. Push the button. Is it Chemical Brothers? Push the button. I think it's push the button.
I was never into that type of music.
Right.
No.
So why isn't this coming up? Hello?
Although whoever did those songs with Filter those are pretty good.
For Filter? Which one?
The one that was on the Spawn soundtrack.
Oh yeah. That's not like
Crystal Method or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I have that on DVD. I'm sorry, on CD.
Yeah, that was a pretty good soundtrack.
Yeah. There's actually a video about that song, that entire soundtrack I watched just this week.
Yeah, I remember that. Henry Rollins is on there. I don't know, or Slayer's on there. And I don't really normally like Slayer, but that one
Slayer's
song,
awesome.
I don't know. They're a little too dark for my taste.
Man, I can't even remember who did push the button.
I don't
think
know.
it was Chemical Brothers.
Probably.
Let me see if it's this one. Yeah, I don't know why Ryu's manga isn't coming up, but yeah, that sucks. So, but let me see if it's this one here. Push the button. I thought it was Chemical Brothers. When I was a kid, right, like 1980s, and we used to be into breakdancing. Like I wasn't that great or anything like that. I was a hanger on watcher. All my friends used to like be into breakdancing. So my birthday, I think, might have been my 10th birthday. In the back, I invited my class, right, for my birthday, and so at the back yard we had all our friends. The boys, a couple of them, I think there was 3 or 4 of them, put down a freezer box, carton box, flattened, and then they would like break dance and do like back. I can't even remember what most of it is, back swings or whatever it is, and they'll end up like doing moves and stuff. And I've got photos of this as a child, and I think I must have been like about 10 or 11, might even been younger than that. Do you want to like go back to showing photos of the event, Tim? Did you mute yourself?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. All right.
I only had those two.
Well, who designed the?
The banner.
Yeah.
That was done by. I forgot there was a customized banner service on Amazon.
Who did the lettering, dude?
It was part of the you could just you upload your photo and then you choose a font.
Right.
Yeah, I'll have to find that. It was actually suggested to me by Emily, who designed some of my merch.
To use that font.
No, the she recommended the customized banner service. I was gonna go across country to Massachusetts to do a convention, but I couldn't get plane tickets, so
Right.
I had to cancel that. So I couldn't use it in Authorpalooza, but I mean during this event, it was the first time ever that I got to use the banner.
Right.
So
I just noticed here that something's been like these. Something's wrong with these blank pages I duplicated. They won't let me open up as a. Yeah, something's going on with my with this file, man. Like there's something's just gone wrong with this file. I can't seem to access the see, that one's fine, right? I can access that, but suddenly I can't access the next page. Or now I can. What the hell? I think there's a bit of a mix up with my PC going on. Anyway,
sounds like
so
you're having technical problems.
yeah, it's probably the best thing to do when you're having technical problems is restart your computer, right? And that way you can it sets everything right again. Do not save, do not save. Let's start again. All right. Okay. Duplicate. So what was the experience like? Like going to a store and
It was fun. I mean, like, remember the first time you ever made your first comic book?
it's a long
Great,
time ago, right?
but it was great.
Decades.
Because like for a while, I love making books. I like, but because of all the nonsense that goes on online, there's parts of it that made me like loathe the wider community. If you get what I'm saying, with all this nonsense, not every single person, but there is just. I began to just really just hate just the fact that this drama crap was more important than putting a book together. Just nonsense. And I'm getting to the point where maybe it's just me getting older, but I just like Riley's girlfriend. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I like to laugh at it, but I don't give a shit.
Well, the reason for that is because when it really comes down to it,
It
gets boring for people when they don't have drama. Like I was on a stream. I wasn't on a stream. I was like in the chat for a stream yesterday. I was watching it, listening to it, I should say, while I was gardening. So I was outside. It was it was around about 6 o'clock in New Zealand, and 5:30, and when they started streaming. So I noticed that the temperature outside had cooled down, right? Like really cooled down. And the sun was there, but it was light out because we're on daylight savings. And so because of that, I could go outside and do some gardening that I've been that I needed to do to finish off. Because I dumped all the laundry basket size pots that I have for my gardens on my balcony. And I have like about six or seven of them. And I dumped the soil out and let it kind of like break down so I can replant. And while I was listening, it was interesting watching the drama that was going on the channel, right? On the stream. And this is like old people friggin' in their 40s and 50s arguing and stuff and not taking responsibility for their own actions, right?
Right.
But thinking like that, they need to air that out to the public, to the entire world, because people just don't know how to. I guess it has to do with people that like their life is online, and this is why like there's so much drama online, because people are living out their life online instead of real life. And so, it causes people to behave in a certain way and not and think that nothing's going to come back on them in real life, because hey, it's internet drama, right? It
Right.
can't come back to you in real life. Problem is, there's some weirdos out there. If you upset them enough, they will bring it into real life, and we've watched that with the whole uh Comicsgate, Eric July, uh all these other people, right? And the circles there, and how they will take the drama from the internet into real life, thinking that there is no, they don't have to be responsible for any of that, right? However, not everybody is going to handle that right. And I watched not recently, like a couple of months back, someone actually shut up someone in real life because of online disputes.
Really?
And that is scary. Yeah, it was in public. There was like people around. Anybody could have been harmed because of online bullshit. And I'm like thinking, is this really, worth the, upsetting someone who's like probably autistic, probably off their friggin' meds, and now you're going to create drama because it's what gets you super chats, right? It's what gets you your, what we say, your, what gets you off, right?
Right.
Not to sound too crass. And so people are out here doing silly things for super chat money, for clout, and what have you, not realizing that not everybody is joking. Not everybody is going to laugh. And somebody, especially when you're like, even like, it could be the UK, right? It could be New Zealand, and it's happened here. People have taken out knives and attack people over stuff, right? And it doesn't even have to be internet drama, but that's just, it's just stupid to be out here checking people and not thinking that nothing's going to ever come back on you. That's why I try to stay away from drama. I mean, I trolling, right? Laughing in the chat and making up stuff for the laugh of it, as long as everybody knows it's a joke, right? Because it's the fun things. But then when you get into the whole attacking mode, because I think this is where CG has become an attack, attack dogs rather than actually anything about comics anymore, because because money is dry, right? Like everybody keeps saying that the big whales have left CG. People have spent like thousands of dollars on comic books in the past for Comicsgate. They aren't doing that anymore. And you probably know more about that because you've been around longer in the online scene than I have.
Right. Yeah. It's. I mean, first you didn't think, you're like, what, and you get kind of mixed up in it, and then after a while, it just, you just stop caring less and less, and because it's, and then start noticing that some people just start things for literally no reason. There was no like something that started it. It's just all of a sudden that person is mad at for literally nothing.
Right.
I mean, I've had people kind of like send me like spurgy messages out of nowhere, and I'm
Right.
like, what? What are you talking about? It's like they're playing it up for a show, and it's not. But it's not a show because some people don't play like that.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that either. I just
Well, there was this thing that happened with an online online streamer, or like not IRL streamer, right? Real life streamer. And he was over in India, and he was firing. There was a Diwali, I guess, recently, which is a festival of lights, which in my culture, like I'm not actually Hindu, so I don't celebrate it, but I do enjoy that sort of stuff because it's you know it's about people gathering and enjoying themselves. And it's one of the things I miss about not living in Fiji is the cultural things that we would do as Hindus, or the villagers, I should say. Not, you don't have to be a Hindu to do it, but the fact that you go from a house to house, because we all live like further apart from each other, like by a mile recently, because of I guess, as population grows, that people tend to start buying up the land next to other people, because where I live in Fiji, we had like blocks of land, like farmland, right?
Right.
So now the people have basically started selling like little blocks of land for people to build their houses on. So now in Fiji, you have a lot more like kind of like the idea of a street, right? Whereas before it was just farmland, because I live in the rural areas in Fiji. So let me just show you what I mean by that. So let me see. Nadovi. Is it Nakovi? Yeah. No. It's like spelled really weird. Fiji. And so people like live so much closer now compared to what people used to live like before. Google. Is it Google? So what we would do is, like, as a kid, right? I love being a kid in Fiji because of the community side of things, right? So you'd end up like where's Google Maps? Here we go. So you'd end up at these festival things where in a little village. Why am I in America? Even hold on. You'd end up visiting these people like throughout the whole thing. This is something like a lot of like suburban people have no idea about community when it comes to rural people, right?
Right.
Because your neighbor, you know them very well because they live real close by. Where is Fiji? There we go. Look at it. Check out how small Fiji is, right? So this is Australia. This is New Zealand. This is where I'm now. This is where I'm from, right? Came over here when I was 7, so I've been here around about 49 years or something.
Oh, Fiji is small.
Yeah, look at it. It's like a dot. You don't even see the dot if you go close up, right? So there it is there. Now, if I can get a satellite, No, where's the satellite? There we go. Here we go. So I can tell you exactly where we live because of this beautiful thing, right? I'll show you, I should say. Dovi, Nawaidumba. See, that's called Nawaidumba. Nawaka. Sorry, that's Nawaka. My bad. Nawaidumba's up here somewhere. Now, where are we? There's McDonald's.
There you go.
I've been there. Yep.
But you're loving it.
I am loving it. It's pretty cool. It's like they have lamb instead of beef.
Really?
As like burgers. Yeah. Because
I want to go to I want to go to where you live and have a lamb burger. Damn it.
Yeah, oh, you can easily make a lamb burger. It's all lamb that comes from New Zealand anyway there. Now,
I've never had
where are we? Momi, Nawaka. Get rid of that. No. Get rid of this. No, it's over here, isn't it? It must be. Why isn't it hiding? Okay, so Danirao. Here we are. There it is. I got confused because it was like Sila. Wait, Sila, what? So, if I remember right, where's the main road? I can find the main road. There is the main road. No, that's not the main road. That's the top road. That's the road behind our house. So check out all this land, right? So this is all the farmland. So when I was saying about how people live closer now, look at this. Before, you'd have this house and no houses here, right? And so you'd have a house here and no houses here. Or there'll be a house here, but no house here. when I was in the 80s, right? Now it looks like there's people living close by. And because this is rurally, like you'd have like about 10 houses all up, 10 big families. So this is my backyard here. So what we do, like, so I think that's our house over here somewhere. So you start off from here and you go visit there, and everywhere you'd stop, right? You have music, you have dancing, everywhere you stop at these rural places during Diwali, you'd end up basically having sweets, either sweet and sour or sweets, right? Like
Right.
all
Okay.
handmade, right?
Huh.
Like handmade donuts, what we call like gulab jamun, which is basically Indian donuts, right?
Right.
Version of that, like noodles and all that stuff.
Right.
Butterfee, which is like sugar fudge, yeah. Yeah, Butterfee is basically fudge. And so you go from there
Oh,
and you celebrate. Yeah. And the other thing you do, and during one of the other ones is like, I think it's Diwali where you let off fireworks. So you go from place to place, and you'd enjoy the fireworks this family bought. They
yeah.
let off after 10, 20 minutes after having a sweets. Then you'd move to the next house and they'll let off fireworks. And dude, as a kid,
That's fun.
it is the greatest thing in the world, like to have that sort of thing, because you live in the rural areas. You don't have like, a video game center you can go and play. You don't have like all these other things, because this is the 80s, and I think that it still happens now because it's cultural. So back then you got to really visit people's homes, and everybody watched out for each other. Nobody went robbing people's homes, because they know that, hey, if you were seen at somebody's house and you were not invited, you knew you were not there for good, you know, for good things, right? You were there for bad. And so I think this is something that a lot of people who live in cities and stuff have no idea how
Well, I
important.
grew up. I myself grew up in the small town of Belfort, Washington. So when they threw on something, everybody showed up.
Right. It's like having, like, I guess in the sense, it's like having a big barbecue or somebody's big centennial thing, right? Or like
Right.
big, huge, like 40th or 50th birthday. Um,
However, when we got bored, we would go
mm,
to Bremerton, hop the ferry, and go all the way to Seattle.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. For us, I mean, like, town's like about 50-minute bus ride,
Right.
you know, and so you could enjoy, you know, your whole week. You go hang out in town and stuff. It costs money to go, and like, it's not like you, as a kid, you get, being a rural kid, you don't always get pocket money.
Yeah.
And the only time you got any money was when your mom took, my mom solo at that time was a solo mom. She'd work in the restaurant in town and would come and visit me in the weekends, and you know, take me into town on a Saturday. We go buy some shoes, eat some, go cafe and stuff and whatever, buy some toys. So, I grew up understanding that like nothing was handed to you, right?
Right.
And so you appreciated everything that you got. And that meant that, like, you grew up without any expectations, but you appreciated everything you got.
Now,
I think,
go ahead.
carry on.
Are you you're mentioning as a kind of a cake dessert? I think you called it barfay.
Yeah, Burfie's fudge.
Barfay.
It's made of
Oh,
sugar
it's
and
fun.
stuff.
So are you familiar with a show called Outsourced? It only really had one season, but I thought it was a good show
Right.
because like this. So it's about a call center in India.
Yeah.
And it's headed by Todd, who knows nothing about his American history, so he's an idiot too. But he gets stuck with the B team that doesn't know anything about his country either. So
Right.
I
I think I
Madri,
saw a bit of that. This was like what, like 10 years ago, something?
something like that. Yeah, I used to watch the first season all the time because I thought it was such a good show. I thought
Yeah.
it didn't get a fair chance, but there was she brought like I said barfay, and he's like barfy, and she goes, you should try it, it's still warm. they were playing off the name Barfy, and because he thought she meant vomit. So
Right.
it was just a funny play on words.
Yeah, I found it. So it's about 15 years ago, actually, that it came out. So
Yeah,
this
it was.
is,
It appeared the same time as yeah.
carry on.
It
I'm
appeared
getting
the
like,
same time as was it what was that show about the study group?
Community.
Community. Yeah, and so I remember Community became
Right.
my new favorite show after they canceled Outsourced. But
Right. Yeah, I've been watching clips of Community. I've never actually ever seen a single episode, a complete
they're making
episode, I should say. But like the
they're
YouTubes have,
making a movie.
YouTube
Yeah.
have, like on YouTube, you got all these clips and like all like the best parts and stuff.
Oh
And you
yeah.
can,
Yeah.
I've been watching those. There's been some really
Oh
cool bits of
yeah.
work from that.
Yeah. I watched every single episode except I think I had to go back and watch the first season because I like I said I was watching Outsourced at the time.
Yeah. So I'm going to play this 37-minute clip, 30-second, I should say.
Yeah.
Hey, any luck? Mimi did not answer her phone this morning, and now I can't find her anywhere. The band is setting up. The guests are arriving. What if she changed her mind? What if she doesn't want to marry me?
What can I do to help?
Do you know where the gift table is?
Yes.
Good. Go to it and see if someone gave us a time machine.
I get it. And then set it to before the bachelor party.
No, you must go back much further. Go back to your father's bachelor party and impose the same humiliations upon him, thereby ruining his wedding to your mother and negating your very existence. When I see you fading away before my eyes, I will know you have succeeded. Oh.
It was like a massive burn.
Yeah, I mean, they had better jokes, but that was a show that they kind of saw that what was coming their way. So I think they kind of like strategically set it to where it could easily just be wrapped up in a. Yeah, I think
It's weird they've got. That's the only clip they've got. Let me see if I can find a trailer or something because that was just stupid. Like one little burn. That's what they had for that. So
I think they burned up their best jokes by pretty much by a little before the end of the series, or should I say the season?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So what I know from that is from this, right? So there's an Outsourced is a movie, right? It's a romantic
it was a
movie.
They made it into a TV series. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me play this here from the.
I mean the business they worked in a place that was called Novelties, American Novelties made in China. That was the joke.
Right.
Hmm.
But I mean, like this. But that was mentioned yesterday as well. So what this is like the fact that it's been outsourced is basically, and made in China. It's all about corporate globalism, right?
Pretty much.
You've got people who want to like make them make the most money they can by paying the least, and that's where outsourcing comes from. It's got nothing to do with politics or anything. It's just got to do with greed.
Well,
I think
the best part of the series was the fact that you had these characters that had like Todd himself doesn't know any American history. Everything he tells them is pretty much wrong, and right. He's been straddled with he's been stuck with the team that knows nothing about America at all, really.
Right.
So,
well, the thing here is that, like, what I think about, like, with outsourcing and with Made in America, I mean, not Made in China, is in India, and it's everywhere, right? Like, right now, instead of the companies coming back into America with the tariffs and with, with Trump's mandates to bring back these factories back to the U.S., they're not coming back to the U.S. in the way they should. A lot of them are just going over to Thailand and Singapore,
right,
and Vietnam. They're not really, especially like last week we heard about Foxconn, because I follow this a lot because of business wise. Foxconn left, and BMW also, and Mercedes is leaving, but they're not coming back to the West. They're going to another places in setting up factories elsewhere, because living wage in America is huge compared to living wage in Asia.
Right. They can
So
exploit the people in India. Yeah.
yeah, so if you pay $2 to for an hour of $5 an hour, let's say $2 US, right?
Right.
That's around about about $3-4 New Zealand. So paying that much to somebody in India is there for them because of their living wage and how much things are cheaper there
Right.
because there's so many people. It's actually cost effective to do that. However, that doesn't help people living in the Western country.
No, it doesn't actually work. But they even had jokes about that. Like there's the first episode. He's coming back from being trained to be a manager, and he
Yeah.
goes, "Where's everybody? Oh, we fired them and moved it to India." He goes, "You downsize it? No, we called it right size. Now it's the right size. See?" He goes, "Well, what's to stop me from starting my own call center?" And he looks at him and goes, "Don't you have a bunch of student loans?" And then it cuts to he's in India. Because they
Right.
wanted him to go to India to head up the new call center. Yeah. The best part is like they had a pile of bricks. He goes, "Oh, that's for me," and they had a pile of bricks in the corner from everybody's. Yeah.
And the other side of the thing is that you can't really blame these these Asian countries for taking the jobs, because they're trying to survive as well.
Well, of
The
course.
only people that you can blame, right, is these the globalists who are out here basically taking the jobs there anyway. They're taking the factories there, right, because they're trying to buy another Lamborghini or buy another house, right?
Yeah.
And but not only that, then they also have investors and shareholders,
Yeah.
and the shareholders are trying to get as much bang for the buck as possible as well. And so you can't really, in a way, you can't really blame the player. You got to blame the game, right? And they're playing the game really well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you recall in history, when in tough times, Americans would do anything would do any job to survive.
Right.
I'm kind of wondering, have Americans had it too easy for too long? That's the question.
Well, I think if you look at our modern day, right, and if you look at Gen Z and is it millennials? Who's like the latest generation?
That would be Gen Z, and I think kind of a lot of the and they're I think there's a study that shows they're beginning to realize this too, is that they're pretty much the weakest generation of all.
Well, it's not their fault they're weak, because I think
No.
our generation, Generation X, right? Those who were born in like early 70s or late 65
No,
60, right?
65 to 80, yeah.
Right. So what has happened is that because we had a hard time and we created a lot of amazing stuff, and because we had a hard time growing up, because a lot of us, in the 80s, we had difficulties, right?
Right.
What that meant was that we wanted everything to be easier for our kids.
Well, yeah.
And so we buy them like $1,000 phones, $500 phones, $1,000 computers. We don't tell them to go get do a paper run or go work as a part-timer after school jobs. We just give it to them, right? And so because of that, they're basically spec to be handed everything, which is sad, because without trials and errors and mistakes, you don't really grow up to appreciate stuff, right? You don't really grow up to be create a solid foundation for your kids when you have kids,
You
right?
grow up entitled. Yeah.
Right.
Well, an interesting study shows that because of this, they have an extended adolescence into their 20s, which is weird to see somebody in their 20s act like they're still a teenager, and they're like 25, and it's just like, what the actual F,
Yeah, that's kind of sad, because I mean, people could look at me and go, well, look at you surrounded by all your toys and stuff, and you're trying to live your childhood. I'm like, yeah, but this is my actual life, right? This is what I live. And merchandise, posters, all this stuff, comics. It's my life. It's not like I'm trying to grow up to be, a tech, billionaire or anything. It's my
Yeah.
creativity.
I mean, like, but these Gen Z types, they're literally on their phone all the time. Their biggest push in their 20s is to become a influencer, and I find that to be the worst. I mean, the most worthless profession. It's not even a profession. What is that?
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird because they're like, hey, if I get 100 subs right now, I'll do this, or if I get 100 likes right now, I might, it's. So that's another reason why I personally just don't understand the people who like they do it for some kind of social currency or something. I don't.
Well, it's because you got to be somebody, right?
But
And rather than like working hard to be somebody, you want to take a shortcut.
yeah, it's
And
actually
that's
kind of
like,
sad.
well, I think that's majority on the male side, but on the female side, you have OF, right? OnlyFans. So
Yeah,
have you noticed that, like there's a huge uptick, and I mean huge. The moment somebody like a female turns 18, she's going to start an OF. It's like the easiest thing to do because rather than actually trying to,
have respect for yourself. They have to turn into a whore.
well, not only that, but the fact is it's such an easy thing, right? Just
Yeah.
turn on the camera and do whatever, talk, whatever, right? Take off clothes, because otherwise, then you got to get up on time. You got to go in, clock in. You got to be around other people, and so you become a introverted person whose only outlet in the world is by actually being in front of a camera.
And being a
And
whore.
yeah, I mean, but it is what it is, right? Because they're trying to do what they've been taught. The other side of that is spending all your life not working at all and being on social welfare, right? What do you guys call it in the US? Like, what is that called?
Welfare.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
For,
mean,
for us, we call it the dole, which is
yeah,
a UK word,
yeah.
DOLE.
I remember that. I've seen The Filth and the Fury.
Seen what? Sorry.
The Filth and the Fury, the Sex Pistols documentary. They're talking about
Oh, right.
like
Yeah.
everybody was on the dole, nobody had a job. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the other thing about that is that do you remember the band UB40?
Yes, I do actually.
Those guys actually met each other during what is it called? During a while waiting in the office of a welfare department, and they
Right.
realized they all liked music and they could play an instrument and so on. And instead of like just staying on the dole, they decided to form a band.
That's what a lot of people in England did when they're in the late 70s. They formed bands because they couldn't get jobs anywhere.
Right.
See, but that's way better than just like walking around with a cell phone in your face, going, "Hey, I'll eat this thing I found on the ground for 100 subs."
Yeah.
It's just, it almost seems like these kids think that in order to be somebody, they have to degrade themselves for people online. Hey, I'll ram my face into this wall for 1,000 subs.
Well, certainly, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I know everybody says, oh, you can't blame parents, but really it's 50-50 parents, it's 50-50 school and other kids. It's not always 100% of parents because look, parents do a lot of, do the job of raising the kids, and they send them off. And then next thing you know, the kids go to school and they learn stuff that, from other kids that their parents never allowed them to learn on their own, right? In their home. And so I always think it's not right to blame parents for, for everything that goes wrong with a kid.
It's going to be interesting to see this younger generation get older and them looking back and realizing they had wasted their lives doing nothing.
Well, the thing is that you got to support, you got to support the ones that are doing something because they're the
Oh,
ones who are going to be leaders,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, there's going to be a huge amount of people that are going to look back and realize they wasted their lives trying to make themselves something on social media,
True.
and it's going to be funny.
Well, I think it's going to be sad. It's not more not funny, but I mean funny in a sad way, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, but I think funny in the fact that I think people kind of pointed that out to people of that generation before, and and you damn well they know they've heard that kind of critique. I don't know. I don't get it.
Well, it's all about realizing, you know. I mean, you always got to take a moment in your life and figure out, you know, what you want from what you know from life. And often, a lot of us we don't actually take time out to do that. Right? Really sit down and figure out, is this where I want to go? What do I need to go do to get there? How much effort am I going to put into it? So I don't just be, don't, just sit around doing nothing for the rest of my life, but actually have hope and in the future, right? And I think a lot of times kids don't have hope is because they're not shown the right way out of their own situations, so they're left to themselves, and the only people that they have they turn to, because sometimes parents do let people their kids down, is they turn to other kids, and so they allow themselves to be influenced by other kids, and that becomes a huge mess because most of those kids don't even know what they're doing either. And I've watched this over the last, I guess, like 5 years or so, with people who are like, say, 10 years, 20 years younger than me. Most, I say about 20 years younger than me because it's like the new generation. Because in their desire to be somebody, they've been left on their own too long because everybody, parents are way busy, and they really just don't have the time to be able to spend with their kids, you know, just like any other generation, because they're trying to make, pay the bills, right? They're trying to make money to pay the bills. And so because of that, you got a lot of, in our time, right? In my generation, we used to be called the latchkey kids, right?
Right.
We'd have a key on a string around our necks. And when we got home, mom and dad weren't there because mom had just gone off, like for me, right? Personally, for me, my mom was just about to leave to go to work to do night shift as a waitress. And later she became a cook and a chef, right? She rose up from being because she used to be a chef and a cook when she was in Fiji in restaurants when I was a kid. But when she came over here, she couldn't do that because everything was different, right? And so my mom used to do anything she could to be a second income earner for us, for the family, right? She's about to raise two more kids along with me, and so there was three kids in the house all of a sudden to feed, right? To pay for school, for clothing, and have you. So mom was like, okay, I need to get a job. So mom started doing waitressing, and she'd be out at night, and dad would be home at night, but during the day, dad would be at full-time working. So we'd basically have one parent at home until like about 11 o'clock at night. And that time I'm already asleep, right, with the kids, because we're at 9 o'clock, we're supposed to be in bed. So I think now it's, I guess, because then you were just getting like buying like a handheld video game that was worth about $100. Now you have to buy your kid a cell phone that's worth $500,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so the cost of living and cost of providing so that your kid doesn't feel like a loser, right? Because that's what it comes down to at the end of the day, is that, you don't want yourself as a parent to be seen as a loser because you can provide your kids new shoes, or or a car when they turn a certain age. It just becomes like this whole pressure circle of I guess the circle of becoming a parent, from a child to a teenager to an adult to a parent, right?
Yeah.
It's always going to be the pressure to provide for your kids, and that that never goes away. It's just a cycle of life. And I think what the weird thing that really pisses me off about that whole peer pressure thing is that the kids who do the most peer pressuring are the ones who have it, have everything handed to them, yet they never think about how hard it is for other kids to go to their parents and go, "Mom, I need this, I need that," right?
Right.
Because otherwise I'm going to get bullied for not having the latest thing. Nobody wants to be my friend, and so on. It's like really, it's really tough on parents because of that, let alone kids having to deal with that every day at school.
I mean, I never. My dad worked the shipyard, so my mom was home most of the time. So, except when I got older, then I'd come home. I'd be able to let myself in through the garage.
Yeah,
A couple of times she did forget to leave the house unlocked, so I had to build a sophisticated ladder to the top floor and crawl in through the
right.
bathroom window. I honestly don't know how I didn't fall and break my neck, but I
Yeah,
was
I used to crawl. That reminded me, like I used to crawl in through the washing room window,
yeah.
in the back of the house because of that same reason.
Yeah, was yours a two-story house?
No, I was a single. Like it was just like
Yeah,
single
yeah.
little.
Mine had a downstairs and an upstairs. So in order to get in, I had to build a ladder to the second floor,
Right.
and then remove the screen, and then crawl through the bathroom window because I was still skinny enough to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to babysit my siblings because I'm like 10 years older, and so most of the time was like me uh being annoyed having to babysit, right?
Right.
Because as now I grew up going, man, I wish I'd spend more time with my siblings and stuff, and not, because I regret not having to see that as a blessing. Whereas when you're a kid, you see it as a curse. Like, why do I have to look after them? Why can't I just go play with my friends? Leave me alone. Like, why do I have to watch out for you all the time?
Yeah.
And I remember one time I actually my sister, when she was a baby, like about maybe 2 years old, maybe a year old, she got hurt on a slide, and man, that woke me up. It's like, dude, you need to like not be so blasé about all this, because she could have got really hurt, not just cut her lip. And I ended up making up a lie about it because I don't want to get in trouble. And
Oh, of
so I ended up
course.
saying, "Oh, it was she just hurt herself on the cot, right? On the edge of the, like how the cot, you got the wooden thing,
Yeah.
fence around it, and like I said, she hit her lip on the edge of the court, but I wasn't supposed to take her out of the house, but because I didn't want to stay at home, I took her to the neighbor's house to play on on the slide with all the other neighbor kids.
Right.
And then I rushed home when she was bleeding. I was like, okay, we're just going to pretend that this is how you hurt yourself. It's like, yeah,
Did they ever find out?
I think so.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah,
uh,
I actually told my sister, I said, "This is what happened," and I'm like, I always regretted it. And
it didn't
but
always
yeah,
work, but when I wanted to get away with something, I always tried to find a plausible alibi,
right,
but or something they couldn't prove. So that's why, like, a friend of mine, his dad worked the day shift
yeah,
at the shipyard. So that means we could pretty much do anything, and his dad didn't really care where he went, so we could go anywhere. So I could possibly get away with, I had a possible deniability of anything. except for that, what I'm pretty sure they knew the whole time. They just didn't tell me. But there was a time that me and was it the two mics were smoking weed. This is a long time ago, and Mike comes out of the house and goes, "Oh, your mom's looking for you." And I thought, "Oh no, she knows." It was funny.
Yeah, there's things that I've in my teenage years that I don't want to actually be. I don't want to be out here saying in the public arena, right? Like this.
Oh,
that,
I don't care. I was like, what? I was in high school at the time, so sue me, folks. Freaking sue me.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about like being a kid, right? Now they want to they want to make sure that everything is known about you, that they can use against you and stuff, and they forget that like, you were just a kid.
Yeah, if somebody said that to me, I was a teenager at the time. What the hell do you want?
Yeah, you're supposed to make mistakes when you're a kid, but like when you make mistakes when you're an adult, it's like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. Well, now it's interesting because people don't.
Hold on. Before we go ahead, I wanted to play this this little trailer from that, right? Because so we can move on to next topic, and because I had this up for ages and I didn't play it, and I'm like, then I realized it was sitting there forever. So let me play this. We'll get this out of the way, and we'll carry on to something else.
In the business of call center management, Todd Dempsey was given a choice.
So you're saying go to India or I'm out of a job?
Mm-hmm.
I'm Todd. Okay.
Manmeet. Manmeet. Yes, Manmeet.
Your name is Manmeet? Yes. Wow, this must be hard to chat on the internet with a name like Manmeet.
And as the of America's largest novelty companies, it was the perfect fit.
I've always wanted a pet. Rat dog. 256 skating, Krishna Pizza, Punjabi artist, come here.
Where am I calling? Is this India?
No.
Am I calling freaking India to get a mug that says America's number one?
No. We're in Detroit. If you like the beer helmet.
Oh, man. You cut off the rest of the line of that one part.
I'm wearing one right now. No, you're lying.
General Davies, over the call center for all American hunters. Looks like I'm getting the team, my friend. Probably on a squad of America. Let's see, team over there. They all work for the big boys, I can tell. They've all been to the States, they've even studied all our different accents. No way. Hey, you, come here.
Yes. What is it?
You know what grits are?
Well, grits is just ground up corn. I'll tell you what, my mama used to make the best grits. I'll be sitting on the front porch with my hound dog, Freedom 708.
Look, we may not be the cream of the crop. More like the bad news bears.
You know some bad news bears were? So, I venture to say that they are bears who, when they come into town, it is very bad news indeed.
No.
Because they are bears.
No.
Who wants to get in the village?
Thursdays after the office.
There's a cow.
Cultures will crush. And someone will die.
Not really, it's a comedy. Blood Puddle, page 21.
Outsourced. This fall on NBC.
So I had this like just this morning, man. Like I called up a courier company, to say where's my courier, where's my item that I've been waiting since Wednesday, right? Last week. It's supposed to be arriving in 2 days to where I am. And then as soon as the call center person answered, like I knew it was overseas, right? From the accent, I hung up, right? And like before, like I was thinking like, oh, I got to hang up. She goes, sir, are you there, sir? Are you, sir? And I'm like, no, I'm just going to hang up. And then I because I realized that I actually have the cell phone number of my local depot for the courier company. And so instead of calling her, I think I called her and then said, oh, no, I better just message her. So I messaged her and said, this is my tracking number. This is what it is. And, can you tell, when am I going to get it, man? I'm supposed to have it in 2 days. so I can get my freaking others, my because it's an adapter from a USB to HDMI, so I can actually stick my other TV screen into it, so I can have two dual screens working. So anyway, so she texts. I go back to sleep because I'm like, I woke up early to, ring up to get a same day appointment for my doctors because I had to go get a whole bunch of things checked up today. I'm getting old, and so so afterwards I wake up like later and I go, oh yep. So I get a message saying, hey Aru, yeah, we've got these containers coming across soon. It's it's in South Island because we've got North Island, South Island, and it's on the ferries. It'll be here soon, in the next couple of days, right? Because it's got to get off the friggin' ferry, get into the warehouse, get chucked onto a truck, and then drop off everything along the way. So hopefully by the end of the week. I'm like, next I'm going to make sure that's actually in the North Island whenever I'm buying, because of this one reason, right? So that I don't have to worry about a ferry carting it across the friggin' different islands and then spend a whole week in the truck getting to me because of all the drop-offs I got to do. But yeah, I mean, like, no matter how good a outsourced person answering the phone is, you can always tell if you're used to it by the accent where they're from, right? And this company's using people from I guess like not India but like East Asia, like maybe Singapore or Thailand or so on, or Indonesia, right? But yeah, I mean, you're supposed to have like, and a lot of times they don't even know what area you live in. They can't pronounce the words because in New Zealand we have words that start with WHA, right, KA, TANI, like Whakatane. So try to pronounce that without knowing what that word means, like how you say that word, right? That that WH is F, like fa or fe or fee, right? So if you got a word in front of you that says FHA, that's a fa. So and then you got a KA, right? And then you got a KA, that's a faka, right? And then tane is like a word for male, right? Maori word for male, right? So tane. And then wahine is female. So if you're going whakatane, people think, wait, what did you just say? Right?
That's funny.
So I've got a couple things that I wanted to show on stream today, and it has to do with how females ruin stuff.
Oh, is it?
Not females. I mean like females who like who get into like pop culture.
Right.
So this is a comic festival that's been running since like about 1965, one of the longest running comic festivals. All right, and I'm gonna put the link in the chat as well so you guys can, in case I don't play it. Sometimes I don't play the entire thing, so because I don't want to like content snipe without. So let me bring this up while I get rid of my work. And it's called Bampow Bubbles Burst at Angolini in France, right? So this is they canceled a longest running comics festival. Hold on. Before I go in, do you want to say anything? Tim?
Oh, I can wait till after this. I was watching something that sort of, I guess, is connected to this, maybe not, but
okay. All right, let's go.
It's time now for our Entre Nous segment, and today we're focusing on the Angoulême International Comic Books Festival. For more on this, Solange Moujon joins me here in the studio. Hey there, Solange. Great to see you. So we've found out that the 2026 edition of this festival has been canceled, but you're saying that actually wasn't as big a surprise as we might have thought it
Yeah, it was absolutely not a surprise. It was actually expected. But the December 1st announcement really did put to rest any lingering speculation. Now, this cancellation is bigger than just, there won't be a 2026 edition or the 53rd edition. This is a cancellation due to a boycott by authors. It is significant on a much broader scale because of different, somewhat philosophical visions that are clashing here. One of art versus commerce, one of breaking the silence against sexism and abuse, one of refusing toxic management, of collectively standing together to say no more, even if it does mean.
So, note all the buzzwords, right?
Yes. Hold on. Let me make a statement, and I apologize if my words seem crass, but fuck that bitch.
There was an echo. Who's Violent? Can you tell me who's echoing? Because I did notice there was an echo, and I'm not trying to. I tried to figure out what it was, but I couldn't tell. So
I was muted.
Echo, bud?
I was muted, so it could have been like just the video you were playing. And also, may I say, fuck that bitch.
Yeah, but no, not this lady, but like there's a whole group of people. Like she's talking about this is a news item, dude. She's not the one who's saying that.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah, she's saying what they are doing, so she's reporting on it.
Okay, then let me change that statement to fuck those other bitches that are complaining.
All right. Oh, okay. So it's mine. That's okay. Let me see where it's coming from. So I think it might be coming from the TV. Let me check this. Set my thing. Spatial sound.
Monkey and
Can you hear
Tim.
me, dude? Can you hear me now?
You hear sound fine to me?
Hey, Violent, can you see if is it still echoing on me now?
I didn't sound. It doesn't sound like you're echoing.
Yeah, no, I'm waiting for Violent. He's hearing me in like in the thing. It's still echoing? Ah, sweet. Yeah, so it was my computer system because we had issues with it before. So thank you, dude. Excellent.
I was just saying maybe we should change the name of the show to the Monkey and Tim Show.
No, you don't get you don't get that.
Damn it. Fine.
We'll see.
I'll go pound in the
It's only
corner
been
then.
it's only been a couple of streams, dude. I don't see newscasts going what is it called Raptor, Lord Raptor Jesus and Pan Show.
That's true.
And they're much bigger and better than us. So we gotta follow the lead, dude.
Yes. One of us is the star. More. Kidding.
Yeah, that's me.
Damn it.
I'm the star. I am the star of the show, right?
Well, I'll be in my trailer until you change your mind, damn it.
Yeah, it's called Newscast, right? You're right. But it's on his channel, so that's like this. This is a monkey show. It's like we are the monkeys, right?
And
Hey, we're the monkeys.
Around. Yeah.
We're monkeying around, yeah.
Okay,
so let's get back to the stream. So let me go back a bit for the people who've just joined us. So we only played about a couple of seconds of it. So here we go. I'll play this all the way through this time.
It's time now for our Entre Nous segment, and today we're focusing on the Angoulême International Comic Books Festival. For more on this, Solange Moujon joins me here in the studio. Hey there, Solange. Great to see you. So we've found out that the 2026 edition of this festival has been canceled, but you're saying that actually wasn't as big a surprise as we might have thought it
Yeah, it was absolutely not a surprise. It was actually expected. But the December 1st announcement really did put to rest any lingering speculation. Now, this cancellation is bigger than just, there won't be a 2026 edition or the 53rd edition. This is a cancellation due to a boycott by authors. It is significant on a much broader scale because of different, somewhat philosophical visions that are clashing here. One of art versus commerce, one of breaking the silence against sexism and abuse, one of refusing toxic management, of collectively standing together to say no more, even if it does mean that for the authors, that they're essentially or potentially self-sabotaging their livelihoods as a festival. So all of these things are important to keep in mind as we go through what exactly happened. And it's also essential to note the weight that this festival has. Angoulême is for comics, or for bande dessinée, as we say here in French. In French, what Cannes is for film, or Avignon is for theater. It is the largest event for comics in France, and the second largest in the EU, and the third largest in the world after Italy and Japan's festivals. Angoulême brings in a lot of economic activity and global attention for both the authors, but also for this small southwestern city of 41,000 people, which sees its population grow to over 200,000 during the four-day event. It has been going on since 1974. So, what went wrong and who's to blame? Well, on December 1st, the company that produces the festival, 9e Art Plus, they sent out a communique via their lawyers that blame the public funding bodies for pulling out. But the communique did not make any mention of why the public funding, which amounts in total to about 6 million euros, or 40 to 50% of the festival's funding, why that money was pulled. But the mayor of Angoulême, he explained why they were pulling funding on November 20th.
There can be no festival without authors, and no festival without publishers. It's the authors, together with their publishing houses, who make this festival what it is. Without them, and without festival goers, there is simply no festival. And without a festival, there's no public funding.
So this is where we get to the heart of the issues that really caused this boycott and this cancellation. Some 2,000 authors, plus publishing houses and unions, they signed a petition to boycott the festival. They accused the organizing company and its head, Franck Gondou, of toxic management, opaque financing, nepotism, confusing public and private interests. These complaints, they have been ongoing for years, actually, as this company has run the festival since 2007 and actually had its contract extended despite the complaints.
And so it was after that contract renewal that things really hit a fever pitch, because there was a collective of women authors who were boycotting. Is that correct?
Yeah, and some authors are actually calling this boycott a girl-cott, which is actually the term that some 285 women authors used in a letter to the editor to the paper L'Humanité, where they explained that there needs to be massive changes with how the festival is put on, but also how the industry treats women on a whole. They're calling it a Me Too BD moment of sorts. And there are a number of sources of long festering anger. There's the fact that in 2016, 30 authors were up for a top prize. All of them were men. Then in 2023, there were accusations of the festival putting on an exhibit that promotes pedophilia. It was canceled. And then finally, in what may have been the straw that broke the camel's back about sexism, an employee pressed charges against a colleague for allegedly drugging and raping her. She was then laid off by the organizing company. They say that's not why she was let go, but she has since filed a wrongful termination case. So all of these events and a number of others, like the extended contract or the choice of a fast food chain Quick as a sponsor, all of this led to some 2,000 authors to sign the petition to boycott.
I imagine, though, there's a double-edged sword here. If this boycott is going to harm potentially the careers and the exposure of these female authors.
Female and male, yeah. And there is little doubt that the cancellation is a financial blow to the entire comic sector, not to mention to the local economy. But at the same time, it also shows a force of sort of a collective group saying enough is enough, of together pushing for something different, better, be it in regard to how the festival is run, but also in a hope to change the industry, which in some ways is doing really well, at least compared to other book genres. But in recent years, so this is an added frustration, there's also been a slump. In 2024, there was a 9% drop in the volume of sales and a 4% drop in profits. We see this slump too in how few authors manage to make a decent living with comics. So this adds to a general sort of ras-le-bol or the fact that authors have had it with what they see as injustices in the industry.
So then do we know what's the future hold for the Angoulême Festival?
Well, the festival was supposed to occur from January 29th to February 1st. And there is some discussion of there being an off festival without there being an in one. But some authors say that that would actually weaken the boycott. So it's really in 2027 when the real first test will come into play for this disliked company, as they are contracted to organize it in 2027. Now, even if they don't, there is a new festival to rebuild, one where authors are calling for more inclusivity, more free events, less focus on profits, less sexism, a space for authors to have more of a say about the festival, all of which are strong, important goals, but they have to be made into reality.
Solange Moujon always bringing us the inside scoop on what's happening in France. Thank you so much. And that's it for this edition of Entre Nous. You're watching France 24.
All right.
This is an island in Japan where only 11.
Yeah, like I said, I think they really shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's like, how? Oh, actually, you go. Sorry.
I was gonna say they really shot themselves in the foot. I really doubt it was 2,000 actual creators. And the fact that of course the girl caught name is stupid. Anyway, who thinks of words like that except for an idiot? It's just, I mean, if you don't like the festival, don't sign up for it. There you go. That's your boycott right there. Don't go to the festival. Go to another festival.
Oh, Violent. It's a channel. It's the TV channel that they have there. France 24. So,
but I mean, another one that I think the only real big criticism is they attempted to have a what was that a exhibit for what?
Yeah, pedophilia.
Yeah, I mean that's gross. That's gross. That's the only criticism I have towards that festival.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Now, at most festivals, there are going to be creeps. Anything that's like if you got like 200,000 people attending a town that only has 40,000, that's 200,000, or maybe let's just say
Yeah, but they
only 5%
okayed it though. That's the problem. They okayed something like that.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about like because there was also there was a sexual assault. So often at these large events, there's a lot of people that come out of town. Like you got this town had 40,000, right? So it's like a city, but the attendance over the weekend or whatever it is, that 400,000, that's 200 and say 190 to 195,000. That's from outside that town, right? So amongst that, 5% are going to be total creeps, right?
Right.
They're there to to not enjoy the thing. They're there to get something out of it for themselves. Like, and usually it's the creepy, the people that turn up.
Right.
So that damages whatever positivity you have got, because we always know that like that 1% that ruins it for everybody, right? And so you've got something that's been going on since 74. That's like 51 years. One of the oldest friggin'
you said 65, I think.
Yeah, no, it was 75. They said I had it wrong. It was 75. So
74.
74? Yeah, 74. So yeah, 51 years old. And so that kind of like sucks, because that's like something that's been going on for over 50 years, man. It would have been 51 years this year, right? And that's ruined for everybody, because these women got together and said, oh, sexism, or this, because it was like the whole what was it, like you said, was gal court, right? So it was like, it was what we could see. I mean, what I could see is like there was a whole like 2,000 females and a handful of males amongst them who were white knighting for the females, right?
Yeah.
Who basically have ruined the industry of this town, which was getting millions of dollars of funding, right? Which was allowing 200,000 people approx enjoying themselves over that time. And here's the thing, how this all works. Every person that attends is going to spend probably about $100, right? $50 to $100 easy on merchandise, on food, on drinks, and probably a couple hundred on accommodation, depending, because they're all out of town anyway. So closer ones will just drive there. But people, if you're like, if you're guest from another country attending it, that's a lot of cost that you're putting into that place.
Right.
So that $6 million, whatever it was, euros, that doubles or triples to the economy of that town. And now you've basically, because of your ego and your self-importance, have ruined that for this entire town.
Right.
Economy, right?
Now, if there was issues of like sexual assault or whatnot,
but that's
what they probably should have demanded was better security, more cops.
Yeah, but that was actually had to do with the runners of the show, right? Someone who ran the show, nothing to do with what was happening there itself. At the festival, it was like somebody who was employed by the festival. So that's a police matter. That's got nothing to do with like because of the show itself. It's got to do with employment, and it should be to do with,
so there was somebody that was working there that had bad misconduct.
Yeah. She said one of the one of the bosses or one of the her heads of department, whatever the hell it was, had assaulted her. And so you put that across to the police, and you let the police deal with that,
right?
And and not try to, and yes, sure, it's someone employed there, but that's like, somebody at Microsoft assaulted one of their underlings. Now you're going to put Microsoft on take Microsoft to court? No, you take that person to court, but also the reason you would take Microsoft to court if there was no protection provided for them by Microsoft, right? That their own legal things like protection wasn't there for the HR department to look after their people. So sometimes, a lot of times, these things get blown out of proportion because they want to rope in the company because it's it's not kept, it's not dealt with the police. And this is like when people go online and go, "Oh, I got this happened to me," without actually going to the police first. They want to like talk about it online all the time, and like try to cancel people without even,
that comes across as a little sus when they do that.
Yeah, well, there was a recent thing with a in the US with a DoorDash lady who made a video who, like, the guy was drunk and crashed down, in his in his boxes on his settee, and so, on his sofa inside the house. So she pushed the door open a bit. When she got to drop off the food, he was passed out, and she took video of it and claimed it was sexual assault. The guy's passed out on his sofa, but she's like all over the internet, and now she's been arrested for voyeurism, assault, and publicizing nudity online.
Yeah, wait. So she was a DoorDash person, and she opened his door and filmed him while he was passed out on the couch.
Yeah.
How did she think that was gonna go? That sounds like
accuses man.
I don't understand the logic in that. Like, how did she think that was gonna go for her?
Well, because she wants that clout. She wants make a name for herself, right? This is why we got coming to ourselves, like the drama, right? Drama causes you to become,
but you figure people would want to be known for something that people like, not because unless people are just that pathetic.
Okay, here we go. Here's the video. So there's a 2-minute video. So give me 1 sec. I am going to put that on. I start sounding like an old man. Like I'm going to put that on the line all of a sudden. Hold on. I mean, like not an old man, but like a elderly person. So
I'm going to put it on the TV.
Yeah, I'm going to put it on the line. Okay, muting my.
DoorDash drivers facing felony charges after police say she recorded video of a customer during a delivery. She then shared the video online. Good evening. I'm Matt Mulcahy.
I'm Megan Coleman. Police say 23-year-old Olivia Henderson claimed she was sexually assaulted during the incident, but they say that never happened. Henderson was arrested last week. Investigators tell NBC3 the customer was incapacitated and unconscious after drinking alcohol. That's when she got to the home last month. They say she shared the video on social media, and that's when the man called police. Tonight, the I-Team's Mary Keeler is working for you.
In light of this incident, the I-Team wanted to ask police what to do if you're a driver or a customer who's in a situation where you see something or have something uncomfortable happen to you. 23-year-old Olivia Henderson is now facing felony charges following a DoorDash delivery she made to a man's home on October 12th.
She recorded him without his consent and then subsequently disseminated those videos.
Police say Henderson recorded him while he was partially nude, incapacitated, and unconscious on his couch after drinking alcohol. DoorDash referring the I-Team to a statement they made on TikTok on October 16th. It says Henderson's DoorDasher account is deactivated along with the customers, adding, quote, posting a video of a customer in their home and disclosing their personal details publicly is a clear violation of our policies. Police also offering these tips.
If you're a DoorDash driver, try to have the situation so that you're not going in someone's residence if it's at all avoidable. Obviously, there are some circumstances where people have limited mobility and things like that, where they might need some extra help. Your own personal information, keep that to yourself. Don't put that out to DoorDash drivers or customers if you're on the other side of that.
Oswego police say this is a reminder of the power of social media, stressing to everyone that it's important to think before you post because it could end up leading to criminal charges. Olivia Henderson is due back in Oswego City Court on December 4th. Court records online indicate she is being represented by the Public Defender's Office in Oswego County. I'm Mary Keeler.
What a dumb bitch.
Well, she wants the internet clout, bro.
She got exactly what she wanted. Only I don't think she wanted to be in legal trouble.
Yeah, she wanted to ruin somebody's life, right? I mean, that's the whole point of it, because she did it to ruin somebody's life, but ended up ruining her own.
Yeah, that sounds kind of sick to want to ruin someone's life just for fame.
Oh, it happens all the time, almost every day. I think this is what I mean early on when I was talking about how people want the drama to, to chase clout, to get money, to, like you said earlier, I'll do this. And if I reach 100, subs or 1,000 subs, I'll do this, right? I'll eat this rubbish or whatever, or drink myself silly.
It's nice to see karma come back on people like that Riley guy, He was doing that. He was coming to people's houses, and now he lost his girlfriend to a guy that dresses like a rabbit. How funny.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about you whatever you put out into the world is going to come back on you, right? So if you are putting out good, people like to say karma, right? At the end of the day, you got to do unto others what you want them to do to you, right? Of course, it's not always going to work out that way, but at least in yourself that you weren't out there to ruin people's lives. Whereas this chick she was out there to ruin the guy's life. The guy was passed out. He didn't do anything, but she's accusing him of sexual assault. How can he be accused? How can you accuse someone of sexual assault if you're outside the house dropping off his food? He's in the lounge on the sofa, passed out. How does that become a sexual assault? Right? He's drunk. He's out. And here's the thing about this: a lot of females will go to parties drunk, right? Will end up at parties, and I've noticed it here as well. They'll turn up at parties, they hear about it, they're probably out clubbing, and they hear about that somebody's got a party going on through a friend to a friend to a friend or cousin or whatever, right? They'll turn up to the party drunk, and they'll do something silly, and then the next morning they get up and realize, oh, dude, I slept with this dude that I didn't mean to, and next thing you know, it's now you get assault charges. Whenever I've heard of where people in the house were going, dude, she was all over him, she just wouldn't let him go, and she was all over him, slobbering all over him. He couldn't, and so he was a bit drunk as well. So they made out, and they ended up moving to a room and sleeping. Next thing you know, the next day she's, accusing him of rape, and he's done nothing because they all agreed to it while they were all drunk.
Remember that college girl that accused that was it like they were like a lacrosse team or something?
I heard something about that. What was that? Give me some details.
It was I think I don't know what college it was, but she had claimed that the gang raped her. And then it turns out the night she said the party happened, there was no party.
Yeah.
She was actually out on a date with like somebody she knew in high school.
Right.
And then one of the people involved, he was getting money out of an ATM machine. So none of that actually happened.
Right.
But she insisted, and I guess she would carry around a mattress at a protest or something. I don't know. But yeah, that story eventually faded into obscurity, but that was like a case of somebody trying to accuse some people of something that didn't happen.
Right. So because of all that happening, what's been happening, like I've heard about like through the grapevine, right? That people here in New Zealand, when girls turn up, they get turned away from the party if they don't know anybody in the house. And they will be, chased away, or males will leave. Sorry, I'm gone. I'm leaving. They would call up a taxi and just leave because they know it's gotten to a point where it's going to be 99.9% against the male, no matter what, how right they're in. The accusations will be always, and it'll be the male who gets their life ruined through accusations.
So parties are just
moves on.
Parties are just sticking with people they know, right?
Yeah. And so if anybody's, and here's the thing about parties, right? There's always going to be somebody who turns up who doesn't belong there. And if you're turning up to a party drunk, that's on you. But to be honest, most of the time, girls just don't like taking responsibility for their actions. And I'm not saying that there aren't a-hole males out there who take opportunities, who what is that called? Make advances on drunk women because they know they'll be easy targets. But it goes both ways. Females will make advances on drunk males as well. I remember I was out one night, right, at a club. I'd gone out. I was, playing the machines, the coin machines, gambling. This is like about
Did you win anything?
15 years ago, right? We call them pokies here, the coin machines. So I'm there playing by myself all night long, just hanging out. This chick comes and stands next to me and talking. So, and I'm like, okay. Then we have the announcement, hey, we're going to close in half an hour. So I call a taxi and I get in a taxi to go home. She jumps in the taxi. Did not invite her. Didn't say two words to her. So, well, okay. And I go, I'm in the back seat and she jumps in. I'm like, and the taxi driver goes, well, where am I dropping you? Oh, I'm going home. Because, and I turn to her and I go, where are you going? She goes, oh, with you. I was like, no, I'll drop you off home. Tell me where it is. He goes, no, I'll go with him. It's like, I'm like, I'm drunk, so I'm not going to get into an argument. And I'm like, okay, fine, you can go sleep or whatever. And so, so I turn up home and then she's all over me at home, right? And I'm like, dude, I'm just drunk, right? And like, I'm really drunk. And so next thing you know, the next morning, she wakes up and I go, here's $20, go get a taxi and get the hell out of here, right? Find your way home. Because I'm like, well, since I, got her home with me and without, against my will, because I wasn't really wanted it there, because I was actually flatting at the time. And like, I don't like people coming back to where I'm flatting, because that means like, my flatmates will get and actually at that time I was living with a teacher. So, in her house. And so I don't want anybody to come back anyway. And so anyway, so she goes home and then comes up the next day, goes, oh, did I leave my wallet here? And you know what she's got next to her? A 6-year-old kid. And I'm like looking at the kid, I'm looking at him going, holy shit. This chick, left a kid at home, right? And went out clubbing and then turned up at my place, all right, jumped in my taxi, came home with me, and and then went home and realized she didn't have a wallet with her, and I'm going, nah, there's nothing here, right? Because I would know if you'd brought anything. I was like, no, you didn't bring anything, so she's probably left it at the freaking nightclub. I'm like, imagine how quickly that could have gone wrong, dude.
Oh
Right?
yeah, you were in a bad place, man. That was you were in a dangerous. You should have kicked her out of the cab. I said nope.
Yeah, I was like, and I'm just sort of, yeah, man. This is why, like, I don't go clubbing anymore at all. I just stick to myself at home. If I want to drink, I'll just go hang out with my sister's place, have a couple more than I do, which is like about 3 beers or 3 wines. I just don't like being drunk. I've had my time in my 20s and my 30s, of partying, and at 50 years old, it's just, what's the point of it? Social drinking is great, but like being a drunk is, I think that's just the dumbest thing you can do at after 50, right? It's like now you're just like living that whole trying to be that young person again, I guess, the party, I don't know. For me personally, I don't find that attractive, being drunk, because I like to work all the time. I like to be able to get up the next morning and get back to work and not have a hangover or not feel like, I just can't get out of bed, And I think, I think this whole internet society, or whatever it is that we live in, has really ruined relationships and has ruined how people behave towards each other, and it just seems like, it just seems like it's an easy out for females, but it's like it's a life ruiner for males.
Oh yeah, and they know that. That's why they do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, I mean, I think, and this is what I mean. Like yesterday, I was watching this live stream, and I was in the chat, and it was just like, the females have all the power, dude, to ruin a male's life. There's nothing else to it. They see it as a joke. They gossip, they BS, and they think it's all a joke. But someone's going to pay somewhere down the line, because not everybody's going to take it as a joke.
I think because people are more willing to believe them, that they have an advantage.
Right.
Except when people find out that they're lying, then it kind of changes.
But then it's too late, because the dude's life is already ruined, right?
Right. Anyway, I posted something
you can never get back once your life is ruined, no matter how.
Sorry.
Yeah, so no matter how right the guy is, how proven in the courts he is, right, to be innocent, nobody's going to look at him the same way before all that happened, right? Trying to find where this there we go. So I have this other clip. Let me find this other clip.
I posted in the private chat. There's an actual video that actually shows the video. Some of it's blurred out, but it also gives you a little more context of what happened.
About the lacrosse team?
No, about the DoorDash.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Yeah, I saw this the whole thing. I was like so pissed off. Like, they so easily, imagine if they didn't believe the guy, right? If there wasn't video of him crashed out, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
if she only showed herself.
Yeah.
If she only showed herself.
He's literally on the couch. Yeah. Trust me, it's.
Yeah, if she only showed herself and not him, it'll be his word against hers. And like, the guy's already drunk, he doesn't know what happened anyway. But like, yeah. Here we go.
That's fucked up.
A DoorDash driver recently went viral for all the wrong reasons. She claimed she was sexually harassed during a delivery. According to her story, she arrived at a customer's home to drop off food. The instructions said to leave the order at the door, but when she got there, the door was already open. She says she stepped closer, saw the customer lying on a couch, and noticed his pants were pulled down. She pulled out her phone, recorded what she saw, and later posted the clip online explaining what happened. The video spread fast. People were shocked, and opinions split immediately. Some said she did the right thing by recording it as proof. They said she shouldn't have to stay quiet after something that made her uncomfortable. But others said she went too far, because even if she felt uneasy, she wasn't supposed to go inside or past the doorway. DoorDash policy clearly says deliveries should stop at the doorstep, especially when it says leave at door. Filming the customer also raised big privacy questions. That was inside someone's home, not a public place. Even if the door was open, recording a person like that can count as invading privacy. A few days later, her DoorDash account was deactivated. She posted another video saying she had been fired for reporting harassment.
Hey guys, so DoorDash just deactivated me 2 days after I reported my sexual assault. Hey guys, I just lost my job, and they won't tell me why. They're supposed to send an email immediately after deactivation providing you the reason why and a link to appeal, and they didn't. So I contacted support, and they made me sit on the phone with them for 50 minutes just to tell me that they can't tell me the reason why, and I have to just go ahead and appeal without knowing why.
But DoorDash didn't release a public statement explaining why, so no one really knows the full reason. But many believe it was because she filmed and posted private footage online. Some people felt bad for her, saying she was trying to do her job and got punished for speaking out. Others said this situation shows how tricky delivery jobs can be. You never know what you're walking into. But that doesn't mean you can record customers inside their homes. If this happened to you, what would you do? Comment below. Step back if you'd walk away. Record if you'd film for safety. Or call police if you'd contact 911. Let's see where everyone stands. Yes, she may have...
And we already saw what happened with,
Yeah, it kind of went on, didn't it? But
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I see. That's what I mean. Like, if she didn't show him inside the house and just filmed herself saying, "This is what happened. This is what happened," everybody would be against him, and his life would be ruined. But the other thing there is that, like, imagine, look at all the people that were saying, "Yeah, she did the right thing. That she should. Yeah, she got."
there's
harassed."
always going to be some people that say stupid crap like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, mostly females and white knights.
Yeah.
Without even, they'll make up their mind without even knowing what happened because.
Oh, and they're anonymous, so you never know exactly who said what. But
Yeah.
But there was no accountability on her part.
None at all. Even when even when they said, we're gonna let you go and we can't talk about it. Even when, she couldn't even see the fact that she was in the wrong because she opened the door.
So when did she open the door? Because I think she put the
Yeah, she opened the door. She pushed it.
Oh, yeah, that's clearly on her. That's clearly on her. But I kind of felt like it almost looked like she put down the food and then, since the door was open, took a couple steps and then looked in.
Yeah, she did that.
Yeah, but still, she was in the wrong. That's wow.
Yeah, man, this one like if you're at a party and some drunk chick turns up and she's all over you, get the hell out of there.
Yeah, that does.
Think of yourself first before thinking of the little man downstairs, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't go around. I don't go to parties, so
yeah.
Yeah.
I think you just got to be smarter nowadays, right? You just got to really think about things. All right, so she had I remember that as well. So he had security cameras as well.
Yeah, that seems to be more common and more around the outside of people's houses that they have security cameras.
All right, let me see what else have I got set up for us today. Oh, it's something a bit more on bit more happy.
Yeah.
Hold on. Pause up a bit, baby. All right. Here's something cool. Just to lighten the mood. Now, can I get this to do full page? It doesn't, right? Okay.
Are you gonna continue letting her repeat?
Yeah, I just thought it was pretty cool. That was so cool. I thought, like, yesterday I was watching it. I was like,
commercial break.
yeah, we're now back from commercial break, and we're gonna. Oh, here's cool. So, I've gotten to this stage in my life, right? Minimizing, like I mentioned before about minimizing friends, right? Like RL, like in real life
Well,
friends.
that kind of happens anyway. You keep your circle small, you know.
Yeah, and that way you're much safer, and you don't have too many people gossiping and trying to undermine or cut cut you down, whatever. So this is if you have few or no friends, you probably have these 5 rare traits. So let's list.
Psychology says people who have no friends are often misunderstood, not broken, not antisocial, and not failures. In many cases, their brain works in a way that makes normal social life feel draining, shallow, or simply unnecessary. And if you've gone long periods without friends, there are real psychological reasons behind it. 1. You have zero tolerance for fake people. If you have few or no friends, you probably can't stand being around fake personalities. People who wear masks, who gossip, who manipulate. Research shows that as we become more self-aware, our tolerance for inauthentic behavior drops dramatically. You'd rather be completely alone than sit through shallow conversations with someone who's performing instead of being real. Most social circles are full of people who smile to your face and talk behind your back. Your brain picks up on manipulation, lies, and hidden motives instantly. So you keep your circle small, not because you're antisocial, but because you're protecting your peace. 2. You prefer depth over quantity in every relationship. People without friends aren't avoiding relationships. They're avoiding surface-level relationships. Research shows that individuals with deeper thinking patterns prefer quality over quantity. They don't want small talk, fake friendships, or draining personalities. You can't stand small talk, the how's the weather conversations where nobody actually listens. If a topic has no depth, no real substance, you're not engaging. You only connect deeply, which is rare. You want to talk about ideas, psychology, what drives people, what makes life meaningful. So instead of forcing connections that feel empty, you choose to stay alone until you find something real. 3. Your brain needs more recovery time after social interaction. Some people naturally have a more sensitive nervous system, meaning social situations drain them faster. Psychology calls this high social sensitivity. After interacting, your brain needs longer breaks to recharge. This doesn't mean you dislike people. Your brain simply burns more energy during social contact. While extroverts gain energy from being around others, every conversation costs you something. You process information more deeply, pick up on more emotional cues, and analyze interactions on multiple levels. You conserve social energy because for you, it's a limited resource. After socializing, you need complete solitude to recover. 4. You're extremely independent and don't need external validation. Many people with no friends don't rely on social validation to feel good. Research shows this is called low social dependency. You can entertain yourself, solve problems alone, and find comfort within your own mind. Instead of needing a circle around you, you create your own world. You don't rely on others for validation, entertainment, or motivation. This makes you seem distant, but it's actually strength. Your standards for friendship are extremely high. You don't let just anyone into your personal space. While most people collect acquaintances, you're selective about who gets access to your life. 5. Past experiences taught you to think twice before trusting. People with no friends often have one thing in common: a past experience that made them cautious. Betrayal, childhood neglect, or being surrounded by the wrong people. Psychology shows that once trust is broken, the brain becomes protective and selective. You think twice before giving someone access to your life. You've been burned before, so now you observe longer, test people before you trust them. This creates what psychologists call a trust threshold, a higher bar people must clear before you let them in. Here's what this means. If you have few friends, it doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It means your mind works differently with more awareness, sensitivity, depth, and higher standards. You have a richer inner world, sharper intuition, and deeper self-awareness. Sometimes the people with the strongest minds walk alone for a while. If you want more psychology videos that explain your personality in ways school never taught you, hit that.
All right. What do you think of that?
What do you mean by that? Okay. Yeah, it seems about right. I mean, I find myself that predicament myself. But then again, I think it's also based on circumstances. Sometimes, like when you're, like, say you're in high school, you got quite a group of friends, and then everybody gets scattered to the four winds, and over time, you just get used to, this person here, that person there. You know, you don't always have people to hang out with all the time.
Yeah, and plus everybody moves around and makes up new friends, right?
Right.
So the follow-up video to that, and I think I've almost done here, but like with the workload I'm doing for today, the page. So, but it's a kind of a good segue into the next video. But before we get there, so I watched a movie last night called In Vitro.
Sounds familiar, I guess. I think, possibly.
Let me see if I can find the link for this. It's I don't know, it was an Aussie movie before I watched it. I try not to I try not to have get too much information about a movie if I'm gonna if I want to watch it. And so this is a sci-fi movie.
I think the first evidence would be the Australian accents.
No, you don't get that until like they start speaking, but like at the start of the movie, you just don't know what's going on. So it's a sci-fi, and that's why I went to watch it, right? Because I was like, oh well, I haven't seen watch a sci-fi movie for a while because I don't watch live action that often now. Usually, I'm just watching anime or animated movies. So this is an international movie, right? Funded by
Spawn.
made in Australia, but funded by Fictitious, which I think is a overseas company.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's gone straight to streaming, but it's available here through Amazon. So yeah, it's streaming. It hasn't even made the movies or anything like that. I think it played for a little bit in in Australia. But yeah.
Okay.
So it's basically set on a farm, so it's very limited. It's only got like about 4 characters in it. 4? 3?
Sounds like a low budget film.
Yeah, but it's good for low budget, but it kind of ruins and I kind of felt like it defeated its own sort of, its own sort of like plots in a way that like it tells you it's in the future, right? But it's the environment isn't nothing futuristic. And it's that's kind of like, yeah, it's like it's friggin' 70s Australia setting, but you're supposed to think about it's like in the 2015s or something like that.
That's kind of like so did you know Dick Clark actually funded a horror movie?
I have no idea who that is.
Dick Clark was this guy who used to do like he would do like the New Year's Eve countdown. I think he did he's a personality, a TV personality way back. Anyway,
yeah.
I think he's a TV person. I'll have to Google. I've forgotten. But anyway, point is he funded a horror movie called Darkness. And it was supposed to be a zombie type movie, but since Star Wars was popular, they put a crawl at the beginning of the film, and they made the zombies shoot lasers for some reason.
Right.
And basically, they ruined the movie they were trying to make with trying to be trendy.
Right.
Is this what this is? Is it like something they?
It's
they ruined what their intent was.
It's kind of always good. It's like the tropes of now is like male bad and even worse, white man bad. Right. It's getting a bit boring when you like watch every movie and that's all you end up with. But it's because like I mean the reason I'm saying these things is spoilers is that like it's supposed to be like set after what is it called? The world has gone to crap because global warming, and so you can't have meat. Like there isn't enough land to grow meat, yet they have farms that have grass on it. So why are you like cloning meat if you have land to grow, lots of land to grow, to farm animals on? But now you're going to clone them.
It sounds like it wasn't very well thought of.
Sorry?
I thought it was. It seems like they didn't really think it through very well.
No, and it's like, it's just kind of like those things where you go like, did you get an editor to read it? Did you give it to somebody to review those plots to make sense? Why is there grass growing if you're supposed to have global warming and you can't feed grass, right? I mean, you can't feed the cattle. So yeah, it's just like, it was just kind of like this whole thing about cloning and everything, but like it never really delivered on what it could make you think about. It was just the usual friggin' whole white man bad, males are bad, females always join up together to attack the males. That's what you got to do. You never, it's just stupid. But let me play the trailer.
Biotechnology is faster, cheaper, and more consistent.
Business is failing.
I was thinking maybe I could take a few days off.
How come?
to have a break.
Break from what? Break from me.
Is everything okay?
You lied to me.
I was trying to protect you. I'm not going to throw away everything we've been working on. What do you think would happen if people found out about this?
I did everything he said. I didn't tell her anything.
System failure. What the hell have you done?
People would pay a lot of money for this technology.
System failure. Application.
Everything's going to be better from now on.
System failure.
Boring. The trailer looks boring, and the fact that they're doing that same like male bad, female good kind of thing makes it even. It's not even interested. It's not even remote. Not that it was before, but it's not even just. You don't have the energy to be mad about it anymore.
Yeah, because it's like become a trope, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now, that's another thing that why I don't a lot of these shows on YouTube. If I can go off on a side tangent for a bit, like what it was like 8 years ago when this whole like quote unquote CG thing started, right? Hello?
I'm going to mute myself. You go on your tangent.
Okay. So it seems like every show. It seems like we went from like complaining about movies and stuff in media to 8 years we're still complaining about the same movies. So I was thinking to myself, that's why nothing has really changed, because we're just doing the same stuff. Continue. That's all I had to say.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I stopped talking about other like the same old like Star Wars is dead, you know. I just moved on to anime. It's like if I get bored with something, I go find me something else to watch, right, or listen to, and this you just at the end of the day, because the more time and energy you spend on a negative, the more annoyed, pissed off, angry, and bitter you become.
Yeah.
So why waste your time on things that make you angry?
Well, it's just that they're all these shows are the same. The ones that talk about they review stuff. It's a bunch of old 40-plus-year-old men complaining about the same stuff they did when the whole quote unquote indie comic explosion happened. So I mean, that's just an observation I made. It's like, anyway,
it's because they got nothing else to talk about, and like for me, like I thought like the best thing for me to do when we do this when I'm working is not just to continue talking about what I'm working on, because that just gets boring, right? But then to have like topics to bring on that's got nothing to do with comics, but has to do the art side of things, right? So which is I'm going to put on about this cosplayer next, and just how
hold on. All I have to say about the in vitro thing is that the trailer did not interest me in the slightest.
Yeah, but did you see all the grass and the plants?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like greenhouse effect, or what is like global warming. So it's supposed to be all dusty and you can't grow stuff, but there's grass everywhere. How do you freaking have a farm full of grass and plants and say that it's like the future? And then in the end, they have this whole thing where she goes to a town which it's like 80s, right?
Yeah,
and it's like
I don't think they
doesn't work
thought it very
anything.
well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I mean,
you're talking. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like I mean, it is on a low budget thing, but still, your plot's got to still work. Otherwise, it's not gonna,
Yeah.
it's not gonna be believable. That's why people gave it like 5 out of 10. You know, even some people gave it 3 or 2 or 4 because of that. I don't think I saw a 2, sorry, but I did see 3 and some 3s and 4s on the reviews, and people were just saying, you know, just the plot didn't make sense. So I'm going to do some looking at my work here while I get on the right thing. Monitor.
What is that person dressed up as?
Oh, it's a shaman for a turtle god thing, belief system.
Oh, okay.
So he's wearing this, you know, usually, you know, with rituals, people, you know, get up and dress up in things that represent that. Like you have people like, you know, snake masks and so on. You know, it's like a primitive society that they've gone to visit. So what I'm going to show next has to do with art and anime and, you know, pop culture. And this is how Japan's #1 cosplay dominated everyone. Now, what I like about this like Esmond Gold basically talked about it today on one of, like, there was a short clip they put, but they didn't. What I don't like is when people EFAP something, but they don't link to the original video, right? To the original creator's content, because that does not help anyone, nor does that help the content creators who spend their time creating it, right? And if you're just going to EFAP somebody's thing, at least give them freaking credit so that people can check out the other stuff, or check out the original video without you talking over it, and check it out for themselves. That's why I always put up the links, right? Because I think everybody should, you know, click on the link later and watch it after we've said our piece. So this is I only saw a few minutes of it because then I had to go to doctors, but it's worth playing because this is the original video, by the way, not the Esmond Gold one. So the story behind this is very, very cool. Like, it's like if you hear what she went through and how she got to where she is, it's a really cool way to tidy up today's stream.
Cosplaying today is something widespread enough that many have made a career out of it, but it wasn't always this way. Not until the late 2010s, when a legendary cosplayer, Enako, changed the entire industry in Japan. Enako was the first one in history to explicitly show the entire nation to a mainstream audience that cosplaying can be your job. But behind the flashy popularity were a plethora of problems, and if it wasn't for the actions of multiple fans, she and possibly the cosplay industry would not be here today. Enako was born in 1994 in the Nagoya prefecture, and she used to be the sporty kid until she was betrayed in middle school. See, there was this guy that she liked, and she wanted to give a love letter to him to confess, so she entrusted this letter to her best friend to give to the guy because she was shy, but found out a few days later that her best friend and the guy started dating. This was how she spiraled into otome game, dating sims for girls. She legitimately fell in love with the anime guys, and there was no going back. She became immersed in otaku culture. Soon, a friend first introduced cosplaying to her, and she loved it. Enako would start dressing up in her own room, and it was fun. But her mother did not exactly approve. This was a time when otakus were quite looked down upon, at least much more than today, and cosplay outside of the anime sphere was this niche for weirdos. Enako's mom explicitly called her cosplaying disgusting to her, and even sometimes threw out her anime figures and merch. Enako called this traumatizing, and her relationship with her mother at the time turned very sour. Regardless, Enako persisted, and when she became old enough in high school, at 16 years old, finally managed to travel across the country to Tokyo to attend Japan's largest doujinshi fair, Comiket. This was the major turning point in her life. She didn't have a following, she was literally a random high school girl cosplaying at a big event. But as she appeared in cosplay, crowds of photographers swarmed to capture her costumes, and when those photos were posted online, word spread about this drop-dead gorgeous cosplayer. Inako went viral, and many were waiting to see her again at the next event. Isn't this the plot to 2.5D seduction? Oh, whatever. Inako dedicated her high school life to cosplay. It wasn't all roses. She had to get used to hate comments, people calling her ugly, baseless rumors, and she was quite hurt, but still persisted. At 18 years old, with 2 other girls, Inako formed a cosplay idol group, Panache. It went pretty good. They've released a few songs, did a few live concerts, and were even invited to perform at a doujin event in China. But this group was short-lived and disbanded only after half a year because one of the members got a traditional office job. This left Enako at a crossroads. See, this was the time she was also just getting into uni and wasn't sure about cosplay. It was tiring to be in the spotlight, but more importantly, being a professional cosplayer just wasn't really a thing back then. It was just a hobby for otaku. It was quite literally unheard of to turn it into your job. That's why Enako decided to step away from cosplay entirely, live life as a normal uni student, and pursue a conventional career. For her otaku side, she actually worked part-time at a maid cafe. Normally, this is where the tale would end, but Enako had one dedicated fan base. In her student years, fans online were constantly asking for her return, relentlessly. It got to the point where people from Tokyo would frequently travel to Nagoya to go to the maid cafe she was working at and keep asking her, "You wanna come back to cosplaying anytime? These fans' passion over time really got to Inako, and 1.5 years later, Inako wanted to answer her fans' pleas and announce her return to cosplay. But this time, it was different. She aimed high. She set out to build a career out of cosplay, something that basically did not exist at the time. As she started, it was like her high school momentum had never died. Her photos got featured at exhibitions, she rapidly got offers to cosplay official characters for game companies, and she even expanded to voice acting, starting with some mobile game roles. Then, she even expanded to gravure, swimsuit modeling, with an offer at one of the biggest gravure magazines, Weekly Young Jump. A cosplayer in a mono magazine was already a step up for this profession, and 2 months later, she would already be on the cover of this magazine. Quite literally, the fastest in history to go from debut to magazine cover. In 2016, only a year after returning, she was already making 1 million yen a month, but the rise would just not stop. She won countless rewards about cosplay, modeling, blogging, everything. She eventually even expanded to host her own radio, and then in 2018, she started writing in a monthly serialized fashion magazine. Bis, she writes too! How many jobs do you want? She just did things and it would just somehow work. In that same year, Inako organized her first charity cosplay photo shoot, raising 2.68 million yen for victims of that year's floods and earthquakes throughout Japan. By the end of 2018, Inako was nearing millions in followers, unheard of for cosplayers, and was without a doubt the #1 cosplayer in Japan. But let me tell you, this woman is crazy. She doesn't stop. 2019 marked an important year as Inako joined the agency PP Enterprise. I'm not making this name up. Founded by Inako's longtime friend and manager, Yoko Inui, Yoko had one goal: to showcase to the world that it was possible to turn cosplay into a legitimate career, that it was a legitimate profession in the entertainment industry. Meanwhile, Inako started her 10 billionth career, entrepreneurship. She launched her own cosplay-inspired fashion and costume brand called Parlamagi, where she produced outfits and cosplay costumes. This was genius. Fans would kill to wear Inako-produced costumes. At this point, Inako was already getting recognition at a national level. She was constantly on national TV, and in 2020, she was appointed as an official Cool Japan ambassador by the Cabinet Office of the Japanese government. A cosplayer had become a government-approved ambassador. I think that says something about the profession. She started her YouTube channel about cosplay, which obviously blew the hell up. And then she actually announced that she was dating pro esports gamer Kenki. Damn, she got past her middle school trauma. This was surprising, as people in this field generally hide their relationships. But they said they wanted to make it transparent to avoid weird rumors. And honestly, it was received pretty well. Most fans were supportive, probably because she wasn't a traditional idol. Money-wise, Eneko and Yoko actually publicly disclose how much she makes every year, which is, again, very rare in entertainment in Japan. How much was she making? Well, over 100 million yen, or about 1 million USD per year back then, and still increasing yearly. And amongst this, Comiket was particularly money-making. So many people wanted to buy her photo DVDs and albums that she would gross, again, 100 million yen, or 1 million USD in the 2 days of Comiket. 2 days! This isn't taking into account all the production costs, but still, Yoko said the reason they wanted to expose Eneko's income was for the field of cosplaying. It was a message to the world. Look, this is how much a top cosplayer can make in the entertainment industry. This industry, this profession is just as valuable as other entertainers. She wanted the mass public, mass media, the world to accept cosplay as a possible career path. And nothing makes the case clearer than big, undeniable numbers. This really inspired younger cosplayers. It shows them that, yeah, it's possible. You can do it. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that Eneko made half this industry and is the reason cosplay can be so widespread and accepted today. She's the reason there's so much money in this industry too. However, behind all this success, behind being a pioneer, Eneko still faced many problems, particularly online hate. Some people, particularly other cosplayers, hated the fact that she did Gravier, then became so big. They were scared that the general public would think cosplayers are just This negatively affected Eneko quite a bit, especially because she herself loved cosplay. Their goal at the
And I bet you know who those people are?
What, feminists?
Females. They're the female cosplayers who attack her online anonymously, or because nobody, and this is something that Esmond said in his thing, and which I believe 100%, and I'm all for it. I mean, like, I stand behind it, that nobody hates women more than other women, right? That nobody, backstabs women more than other women. Like, males, they might say some shit about each other, but dude, there won't, there are some snarky males, but like, not to the extent where, your best friend goes and, instead of like, giving the love letter you have to the boy that you're interested in, she goes and hooks up with him instead, just in spite of you. Excuse me.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so it's crazy to assume that it's males who are actually jealous of her, if she's out there doing risque type cosplaying, because hey, you got to be like, you got to be either white knighting for the females, or you're a female who's like jealous of her. Because remember, it was her fans that actually got her to do this, to get her to seriously do cosplaying. But here's the other thing that people don't actually understand about cosplaying: the amount of time and effort it goes into making your costumes, right? Because I've done cosplaying myself, and I've actually made a costume that, a Camino for Blade of the Immortal that I mentioned last time, where it cost me $300 New Zealand, which is around about $200 US, to actually buy the material, not to mention the weeks that it took me to friggin' sew it, because I hadn't sewn anything since I was at high school, right?
Right.
And using a machine. I'm okay with a thread and needle, but using a machine and stuff, had to borrow my sister's or my mom's machine. I think I ended up, yeah, it was my mom's. I ended up, because my sister needed it back. But it's the fact is that she was put off, and this is why I wanted to bring this up, is that she was made to stop doing cosplay and had all her, anime figurines and stuff thrown away or by her parent. Yet she, despite all that, because she had the fan base, because people supported her, she was able to get to the stage where she's able to be the number one in Japan. I've actually interviewed a cosplayer from Romania for a magazine we did a couple of years back. I think about 6 years now, 2019. Let me show you if I got it here. Actually, it's just. Let me see if I can bring this little image up, if it's going to zoom up on me. So this is, here we are on StreamYard. So this is the Romanian cosplayer that I did. She's called Sonia the Hobbit. So this is the only image I have here is this here. So it's like Sonia the Hobbit. So she actually she's like a national European champion, and this is like 6 years ago or 7 years ago. She was here in New Zealand at the time, and I asked her to come and be a judge at an event that somebody else was running, but I was, we were a got invited to take part in, and so helped them with promotion and stuff.
Which one is her? Is that right here, right there?
This one here. Sorry, let me see if I can find the Facebook, her Facebook account. Sonia the Hobbit. So, yeah, Sonia was, and that's like in friggin' Sonia the Hobbit. Whoops. Let me see if she's still doing it. I haven't talked to her in probably about 5 years or something. Here we go. So, yeah. Here we go. That's better than that little tiny, minute little friggin' thumbnail image. Here we go. This is her here. You can check her out on the Facebooks. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She does Lord of the Ring.
Yeah. So okay. Sonia actually, that's not the only one she does, but Sonia, she was telling me about, I learned a lot about cosplay culture from her, right? I interviewed her and stuff because I was doing radio at the time and everything. And so she's done lots of friggin' cosplay. And now her partner, I think, I'm not sure if they're married now or not, but like her partner here, wait, no, that's not her. That's some other dude. Him, I should say. But she's done so many different events and shows. You got Sean Aston here. She actually, she came to New Zealand to visit Hobbiton and stuff because she was such a huge fan, right? Okay. So let me go back to. All right, look at that, Mad Hatter.
Yeah, I see.
So she actually won an award in Romania and was able to travel overseas because the part of her award was to travel overseas. And so she, is that, I think that's her partner. South African. Yeah. Wait, she's got a baby now? Oh, sweet. Playing Layla. So all this, she made her own, her own costumes and everything over all that time. And entered international events and won awards and stuff, They got to visit other countries because of cosplaying. Whereas, like, she could be just stuck in Croatia right now. I think it was, yeah, I think she's Croatian. Yeah, and so, and that'd be her life, just doing nothing but, like, I mean, I guess regular work. I think she was a waitress at the time, but she would spend her evenings just, creating costumes, and then her partner got into it as well. And so they're both of them, team up now. But this is that wider side of just, us drawing on, us creating a character on a page or dreaming up a story and such. So I think that's what I like cosplay, because I think it becomes reality when someone puts on your costume, or when you put on somebody else's character, right? You dress up on it, or you spend your time going out of your way with your money and effort that nobody's actually paying you to do it, right? You're doing it yourself, and so it's something that you want to do for yourself. And
what would that be considered? Arts and crafts?
Yeah, and learning tools and how to use them, working with foam, working with leather, material. Sometimes people go as far as making metal, armor and stuff. And so I have a huge respect for cosplayers, having done it myself as well. But even before I did it myself, you know, um, I just thought it was something special when you see someone dressed up in a character that they like or they love, and they've gone out of the way to spend time and effort and money, as I said, to do that. It's just that extra, you know, adds that extra something special to cosplay. I mean, to events and stuff. For those of us who run events, right? Or as I used to run events, I should say, um, it does highlight it's brings so much special um, value to these events. Now, I'm gonna show this reveal a cover reveal, right? For do a little cover reveal for here we go for a variant cover for Howler number 1, which is we've just finished all the work on all the colors and everything. We're just doing the back matter. This is a variant cover for number 1. This is cover. This is inks. This is by Iwakim, who's got his own comic coming through us called he's done art on the comic Zolandia. This is a Valraven. I kept getting it wrong last time. I said it was a Possegram, but it's a Valraven. It's a it's a mythical creature that feeds on children and dead. It's created from dead Battlefield Dead.
Isn't that like a Scandinavian thing?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Valraven.
like the warriors that go to Valhalla, they get taken up by the Valkyrie, but the ones that stay down there get
eaten by these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the cover reveal for this week. I haven't put the titles on it yet, but yeah, it's just I really love the colors on this. At first, I mean, like, then it came when Iwakim did it, he did it without the blood, and then I thought, well, it is a mature book, so let's do the blood. So yeah, got a little bit of blood in there, stuff. But yeah, let's get rid of. Let's bring my other screen up. Right. Back to work. Just trying to finish off. Let me see if I've got another little clip I had lined up to play. Oh, and the other thing, continuing with this cosplay thing, is that once she got started, once she decided to take it seriously, she just went all out, man. And I think this is what like a lot of us don't do is that once we start taking something seriously, we don't put our 100% into it. Because she fought everybody. I mean, I guess, fought herself to do this. And now because she pushed herself so hard, she's such a, become the number 1 person in Japan, the country of, cosplay, to do this. And the other thing that a lot of people don't realize that, like, unlike the West, the older people don't really think so much of otaku culture, the nerd culture, right? The geek culture, even though it's a huge thing outside of Japan, and it's based around anime and stuff, that the Japanese themselves don't think of it as a big plus to them. But the fact that we saw that, like, she was able to, where is it? Represent at a governmental level, right? And put that in front shows you that where was it? It's over here. That she was able to hold on, let me get this muted and then go back here. Fast forward this. That the government actually realized that this is like a huge part of their culture that needs to be upholded, right? Like that needs to be what is it called? Rewarded. What was the other word? I'm sure there's another word. Legitimized, right? It's there to that is part of their culture now, that you can't kind of like run away from that sort of thing. If everybody outside your country thinks of this as part of your culture, why not envelop it? Why not accept it? Why not applaud it? Why not appreciate it to a higher level? Because it's only going to make it so much better for you as a country to do that. And I think this is something like we in the West don't do enough of. Like we don't appreciate comic culture. We don't appreciate cosplay. We don't appreciate gaming to this level that they do over there, which actually helps the economy, right? But in the West, we tend to look down on it because it's the weirdos, they do that. But I know in New Zealand that millions and millions and millions of dollars are brought into the country because of this, of all the conventions and um, events that go on that's outside of your sports events,
Call me
like your car rallies, whatever.
call me biased, but I never thought much about cosplaying either.
Well, when somebody dresses up as Melbourne, you'll find out that you'll be really appreciative.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's different. That's my character.
Yeah.
But besides that, I'm just like, okay, you put together a costume. That's really cool. That's where it ends.
Yeah, but it's so much more than that because there is such a thing as just putting in a costume, right? Which is the simple side of it, right? I'll just dress up as that, make it, and that's it. But there's other part where it comes to the play, which is what Sonia's explained to me 6 years ago, is that when you do the cosplay side of it, you actually take on the character as part of you, right? You're not just dressed up. You actually behave, you talk, and you make it a part of the character is no longer just a costume. It's actually a part of that character you're playing. So you like if you're doing Spider-Man, you're not just standing there like, hello, I'm just dressed up as Spider-Man. You're actually doing poses, you're trying to speak, you're doing some sort of like scenery, and that's what gets awarded, right? It's when you actually do the cosplay part of it, not just put on a costume.
So I can
Because
interview a Spider-Man at a convention and ask Spider-Man why he acts like such a bitch.
yeah, but then you're just being a snarky person, aren't you?
I know. But I seriously want to ask Peter Parker why
You
he
just sound like Evan Skyver now.
Oh, come on. No,
Yeah, I
don't
think
say
you don't
that.
want to go down that road. You do not want to be known as, EVS ever.
Oh, do you take that back?
No, I'm not going to take it back now. You said it, bro.
You hurt my feelings.
That's all right.
All right.
Don't be a girl.
All right, I won't be.
But really, the thing is, like, I think the more people realize the money that's being made around pop culture, the more appreciative people become. But the other sad part of the coin is this, where we talk about that French thing, right? That 50-year-old friggin' French convention that got ruined because of all the buzzwords, right? And for those who are joining us later, I mean, later in the stream, we played this little bit
I
here.
will say though, it was
Yep.
a cosplayer that made a big issue out of Booth Babes. Remember?
I have no idea what's that about, man.
There was a
Go ahead.
cosplayer. I don't know what her name was, but it was basically she was complaining that somebody had some energy drink booth had Booth Babes, and she was streaming about it or posting about it. Let me see if I can find information about that.
Yeah. Just trying to read. Actually, let me put up something else while I'm trying to sort out those pages before we upload it. There was another one. Oh yeah, here's the link. So you guys don't have to go searching back. But this is what after 50 years, they've just ruined a 50-year-old convention in France, one of the longest running, because of all the buzzwords and stuff. So you guys don't have to go up the stream, up the chat to look for it. That's it there. So what was I looking at going to play? Oh yeah. Is it this one? So as I was saying, like I was I made a kimono. Yeah, kimono. I always figure I have problems saying that word, and sometimes I don't even remember what it is. But for those of you guys who don't know who Blade of the Immortal is, this is or Manji from Blade of the Immortal. This is my first ever cosplay I made. Blade of the Immortal. I mean, completed. Like I started some other one, but I only finished one, and that was the only one I'll probably end up doing because it costs so much. And so the character, is it a new one? Is it an old one? I like the original anime, not the new one, because they changed the back of his costume from a svastika to some weird square thing. 2017. Is it 2008? Okay, let's get the 2008 one. Yeah, it's one of the great. For me, I think it's one of the greatest animes around, and it was the first anime. Oh, sorry, first manga, I should say, that was brought into the West through Dark Horse Comics. First one that's translated, and they flipped the book as flipped the pages so it read like a normal, like a comic book. Did I say 2008? I think it was 2008. Where's it? Friggin' yeah, 2008. Get the right trailer. Here we go. Got it. Now let's bring it up. Later Immortal.
What あなたのことですね。100人斬りの卍とは。ああ。一つ神にお尋ねしてみましょう。頼むぜ。終わっちゃったの。もうやめにしようぜ。なあ、やりたくねえんだよ。100人もの命を奪ったと生半可には償われますか。俺の住んでる臓物くせえ世界だ。もう足。
父は一刀流を名乗る連中に殺されたんです。一刀流を滅ぼすために助け立ちをしてください。
生半可には。
Yeah, just realized I muted myself. So this is the costume that I actually made.
Uh-oh.
And so the back in so it took
I know it's going
forever.
the wrong way, but still, you know, the first
No,
thing
no,
you think
that's
is,
yeah,
uh-oh.
because that's the original way.
Yeah.
This is the original historical way. It's the other way that's for the Nazis.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is in Japanese. This is a symbol called manji. In Buddhism and Hinduism, it's called a svastika.
Yeah.
But the Nazis took it. Hitler took it and put it the other way as a symbol of hate, right? But this is actually a symbol of peace.
Yeah.
So and yeah,
It's just been twisted.
yeah, like like anything with villains. So the story of like Blade the Immortal, it's basically a revenge story. It's one of the greatest revenge stories. So he goes out on a girl comes to him, and because she's looking for someone to take revenge on this group of villains, and she finds him, and he goes to help her, right? And it's like a superhero movie, but it's more like the sense of like it's a western, samurai western, like the whole Seven Samurai and whatever that's called. Like what was it? Western equivalent of that? 12 something man or some weird thing like that. I can't remember the name of it. Where they all get together and they take out the town's villains.
Yeah.
So this is like a really this is like a story like that where he's like this, is immortal because a witch has basically turned him into immortal, and he can't die, and he gets cut into pieces like seriously. It's almost like
Can he lose his
a body
head?
horror movie. Sorry?
Can he lose his head and
Yeah. Yeah, but
Oh.
because of the witchcraft, they're able to bring back, he's able to get back together again.
Oh.
It's such a
That's
good. It's like
casting-
it's been made into a live action as well. It's been remade into another anime, like updated in 2017. It's like 10 years later. But the original, you got to watch the 2008 one. It's like brilliant.
Oh,
It's
was
all
that back
hand-drawn,
when
so it's really good.
anime was a little gritty?
Yeah, because it's hand drawn and not like CGI'd.
Well, I mean, like the violence would be like way over the top.
Well, it's not way over the top. It's just because it calls for it. It's a revenge story with like very, very horrible villains in it.
Yeah, I know, but like back in the day, they were they were pretty bloody, and then they got kind of like nowadays when we get stuff over here in the States, it's very kiddish.
Yeah, I guess have a
Like,
look at
like
this.
well, it was the first ones I saw was like Ninja Scroll or Ghost
the
in the
early
Shell.
80s, 90s. I actually have
Yeah.
Ninja Scroll DVD box set here somewhere.
Oh man, that was a good movie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a long time though. My favorite scene has to be when he's fighting the guy with the beehive on his back, and he kicks.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
He knocks him in the water, and the bees in him start panicking, so they start stinging him on the inside.
So this is one of like the fight scenes early on from the live action. So they Takashi Miike, who did I think Takashi Miike did the live action, and he's a brilliant director. Who was Takashi Miike. So this is the link for the IMDb. Let me grab that. You guys want to check that out? This is one of really well done as a live action version of that. I think it's a 12 episode anime or 24 that's been cut down into a how long is the movie? I think it was 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours and 20-minute movie.
さっさと妹んとこ行きやがれ。
Damn.
It's an awesome scene, right?
Right. Look how many people that dude just wasted.
Yeah. It's probably about like, what was it, like 5, 10? Yeah, around about 50 plus. Easy. It's a good, it's a really good live action version of
Looks dope as hell.
Of the manga.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play the trailer for it. So you get to see the other character. I mean, the girl.
Cool.
I ありゃ人間じゃねえ。化け物だ。死ねるてめえは知らずもんだよ。奴は不死の剣士だ。
一刀流は父上を殺し、
絶対にくたばらない男がこの江戸のどこかにいる。その男を探し出せ。
父上の敵討ちを手伝ってください。
楽しもうぜ姉ちゃん。悪いな、少し汚しちまった。
万次さん、大丈夫？
かすり傷だ。
I forgot to mute myself. Dang it.
だったら
誰に頼まれた？浅野の娘か。
誰だっていいだろう。どうせお前も死ぬんだからよ。
ふざけてんじゃねえぞ。心得の一致。相手の軌道を封じたら8割の勝利。いや！危ねえな。 この辺りは俺が生まれ育った場所でね。ガキの頃、ダチの一人がぬかるみにはまって死んでるのを俺が発見した。ちょうどあんたが立ってるあたりだ。心得の2。地の利をもって天を発し。
That is so cool.
Yeah. I'll just mute that. But like, it's just friggin'. Oh, yeah. Takashi Miki just did such a great friggin' job directing the live action on this. There's so many moving parts, man.
What do you think of the live action Ghost in the Shell?
I liked it.
I did too. And Battle Angel Alita was pretty good. That's why the only reason why I liked the new Alien Earth show, because it sort of kind of reminds me of that.
All right.
But yeah, that show's actually pretty good too, which is just off topic. But anyway,
I thought about watching it, but I gave it 10 minutes and I was like, oh, I'll just go watch some anime. Instead.
I don't know. I like it.
Yeah. I'll give it another try. I tried watching Boardwalk Empire last night, but like, yeah, it just I don't find live action that really attractive anymore, to be honest, because yeah, it's just like, where are we? Did I get rid of us? Oh no,
I think the last show I binged, I was totally watching every single episode, was What We Do in the Shadows.
All right, like the TV show you're talking about, or the movie?
Yeah. I finally got to watch the last season of that.
Right.
And then before that, I was watching the Spartacus series. Yeah. Oh wait, no. Before, and also there was the
the new
Shogun.
There is a new Spartacus, right?
Yeah,
House of
and
Asher.
then there was also the Shogun miniseries that they did, which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, I want to watch that, and I also want to watch the Blue-Eyed Samurai or something like that.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, so I think it's in line with Shogun, and Shogun was written by I think it's Eric von Lastbrother who wrote
Something like that.
Lastbrother who wrote.
You know what's funny about the they were complaining about The Last Samurai.
No, you're roboting.
Oh, am I roboting now?
Yeah, might have to zoom out and zoom back in. So I think it was Blue-Eyed Samurai or something like that. I think it's an anime or.
How am I sounding now?
No, you're the same.
Damn it!
Don't know what happened with you.
Test.
No, you're dead. You're gonna have to leave and come back. I'm not sure what it is. Might be battery issues. Anyway, I'm gonna have to look at do this. Make sure I've got no errors later. Otherwise, because I've only got one screen today. That I mean, apart from the Syntec that I'm working on here, I've only got one TV screen. Usually, I like to have three because I can jump around and have a big screen, and I can see everything that's going on here. But I can't, so I'm having issues trying to figure out what mistakes I've made and what to correct. But we will be. I will link.
Check.
Yeah, that sounds better. So it's
Oh.
something to do with So here's the link for the webtoon you guys can check out. So far,
I was talking about The Last Samurai, starring Tom Cruise.
All right, now you sound like you're speaking out your nose.
Yeah. Technically, that was based on there really was a samurai that was white, but it wasn't the Americans that were helping modernize Japan's military. It was the French.
Was it? I thought it was Dutch.
I thought it was the French. It definitely wasn't American.
Right.
But I'll have to double check that. But
Yeah.
the
So
story is that they supposedly did try to lead a rebellion against the emperor, and then was defeated, and then was exiled.
Mm. So I actually have the book somewhere for The Last Samurai. I found it a couple of weeks back and on my Wild Hunt, and
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was that
Hold
one. It
on.
was like a movie of it was a book, like an art book based on the movie. Last Samurai. Yeah, 2003. So it's 15 years old now. No, wait, no. 22 years old.
As a quick answer, The Last Samurai 2003 was loosely based on real historical events during Japan's Boshin War and Satsuma Rebellion. Tom Cruise character, Captain Nathan Algren, was primarily inspired by Jules Brunet, a French military officer who fought alongside the samurai resistance. Fought alongside samurai resisting emperor modernization.
Right.
It's getting late for me.
Yeah, I'm going to finish off here anyway. So here we go. So where are we? There's a whole bunch of information, but yeah, I want to watch Shogun because Shogun is like is a remake of an original.
Yeah,
which was in the 80s.
mini series. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 1980. There we go. Which starred Richard
I
Chamberlain.
do like the fact that they were speaking Japanese, and because like if you were stuck in a strange land where you didn't speak the language, you wouldn't understand what anybody was saying.
Yeah.
And the best part is he's Protestant, and the only people who understood what they were saying were the Catholics.
Yeah.
So he was in a bad place.
So one thing I have to say is that this guy here is my second most favorite Japanese actor.
Oh yeah, he's pretty good.
And my first one is Takashi Kitano, and Takashi Kitano is does everything. He sings, he paints, he's TV host, he's an actor, director, producer, comedian.
Who's that guy that was in
everything.
the Memoirs of the Geisha movie? What was his
This
name?
dude?
No, not that guy. It was somebody else.
Takashi Kitano, I'm not sure if he was in the Memoirs. Let me see. But Takashi is the teacher in Battle Royale. And I actually named a character in my comic book after him.
I wonder if he has any
I
part
like
in
this
the new
dude.
Mortal Kombat movie.
Let me show you who
If not,
Takashi is.
if not, he should be in it somewhere.
Yeah. So this is Takashi here. Dude's been in so many movies, man. Like he does one of the, like, look at that, 58 awards and 51 nominations. Well over 100 times he's been awarded. He's been in so many friggin' movies. It's amazing. But I think, yeah, Satoichi is one of his most well-known, but the greatest of them all is, of course, when he's plays the teacher in Battle Royale, ripped off by what was that movie called? Hunger Games, or the books. Yeah. But yeah, where is it?
I didn't care much for Hunger Games anyway. I always said they looked pretty well fed for people who are supposed to be starving.
Yeah. Or really good makeup.
Yeah.
For people, rural people, right?
Yeah.
Where are you, Battle Royale? Yeah, he's been in some legendary movies. So just saw Johnny Mnemonic. Where are you? Anyway, so yeah, Battle Royale, like the classic of the classics. It's like one of the number one movies out of Japan. Yeah, it's 25 years old. Wow, it's been 2000? Man. And if I remember right, it's based on the manga. On the novel, right?
Right.
And then they did like a manga of it later. And then that became the movie. But yeah. It's brutal. So we'll finish with this trailer with and that'll be us for tonight because we've been going for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And what's the time now over where you're at?
It's almost 1, and I have to get up in a few hours.
All right, let's play this and we'll be it.
人生はゲームです。みんなは必死になって戦って生き残る価値のある大人になりましょう。バトルロワイヤル。I'm just gonna I think I'll show you the character I had Ewakim, my artist, draw up for the character of for Takashi. Let me see if I can bring it up first. Where are we? And then we'll finish off with that. Just something a bit on the art side. Issue 2. Inked pages. Double page spread. Is that it? Nope, that's not it. The next. I'm on the wrong freaking project. It's like, what? That doesn't look like that. That looks like hell. Here we go. Issue 2. Where are you? Man, I keep throwing my stuff in the wrong friggin' into the wrong project folder. There we go. Fantastical Romy. Darn it. 2 inks, thumbs, volume 1, inked, double page spread. Here we go. Yeah, so this is this is the once it opens up, the 2-page spread with the character Takashi that
So this is your Slice of life / horror comic.
Oh no, this is the manga, but like I'm waiting for the. Why'd you open? I was going to show you the artwork from. Oh, where are you? It's on the it's there, but I just kept opening the wrong friggin' folder. Here we go. I mean, image. So this is the character I based on the director and film actor Takashi.
Okay.
For the issue 2. And this is Zoolandia, our fantasy isekai, sword and sorcery, fantasy
Okay.
creatures and all that.
All right, cool.
Yeah, so he's battling goblins here. Is it orcs? I think it's orcs or goblins. I can't remember.
Looks like orcs.
Mm.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, I can't remember what I called them, what they're supposed to be. But because this is issue 2, we've just finished issue 1, all the colors are done. And Ilkim's doing all the like I asked him to do some back matter for the comic book, and then we'll have it ready for print.
Cool.
And he's doing some cards as well, so we're putting out 4 cards. But yeah, so I named him Takashi after the actor Takashi Kitano because, like I said, I like the dude. He's awesome, awesome all around talented dude. But yeah, totally check out Battle Royale 2000.
If I can find a free copy, I will definitely do that.
Well, it should be available on Amazon. It might actually be available on YouTube by now. It's 25 years later.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah,
it's it's the 25th anniversary now. So
Nice.
they might actually put out a Blu-ray commemorative version, which I'd love to have. But yeah. Okay, well, that's us for today. Thank you everyone for
yeah.
joining us. You go and have a good sleep, dude. Do you want to say
I
anything else before we
will.
finish?
Yes, check out Melvin 0 through 3 on Amazon and Zeno DC is full length on Amazon, and be on the lookout for the upcoming issue 4, probably sometime next year, probably January, February. So that's all I have to say.
And I think this is the links for 1, for 2, further up in the chat for 1 and 3, and then of course there. So the links are all in the chat for this. So thank you everybody. Have an awesome week. We'll see you next time, and catch you on the flip side. Wherever you are, have an awesome day, week, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do. We'd really appreciate it. And also have a great week. And yeah, if you like the streams, whatever, please give us a like and share. Kakiteano, which is farewell, and Maori.
Peace out, y'all.
Yeah. Bye for now.
Nope. Can't stay here anymore. I gotta get back. I think this was the spot. Oh Lord, I beseech thee, please return me to my old life. I swear I'll do anything. Like, literally anything. And I won't bother you again, so pretty please bring me back to life.